Hi, I'm Abhishek.
Hi, I'm Shaan.
Hi, I'm Ananya Pandey.
Hey guys, it's the DJ Shaan.
Hi, I'm Sharma.
Hi guys, this is Kunal Kapoor.
I'm trying to rally up some support for the Magic Bus and the Laureus Sports for Good Resilience Esports Invitational.
And I'm super excited to join Magic Bus's mission to get 1 million children across India back to school.
There's so many good people out there who come together to make the good work that Magic Bus does possible.
Taking the effort to be part of an experience.
Join me as I catch the bus.
So believe me, this is going to be a lot of fun.
Hello and welcome to the Resilience Esports FIFA21 launch party. My name is Lokmanu Chaturvedi. I'm a professional FIFA player for the Indian national team, and I'm also a FIFA esports commentator. Joining me today is a very special person, Callum Dornan from SAF. He is the founder of SAF. Very nice to have you, Callum. How are you
Hi
doing?
guys, thanks for having us. I'm excited for this. I mean, what a lineup we've got today.
It's a fantastic lineup, and I'll be taking through everyone. But just before we do that, Callum, how have you prepared for this? What's the feeling in the camp, especially from the UK?
I mean, we've got a great game, as you know, between two of our players coming up. I'll let you talk about that in a bit. But you know what? I mean, this is something we've been involved in for a couple of weeks now, and actually we're so excited to see where this can go. And hopefully we can raise some fantastic money today, and we get a load of people involved in the FIFA scene at the same time. And you guys, hopefully, you'll have a great time as well.
That is fantastic to hear. Thank you so much, Callum, for that. So just to give everyone what this is about, so this is a very special occasion since the FIFA community from India and the UK are coming together for this and joining hands with cricketers, pro footballers, entertainment influencers, and celebrities, all for one good cause, and that is to help 1 million children in India get back to school and help them complete their education. India has been one of the most badly affected countries, as we all know, in the world ever since the pandemic hit us last year. And this is certainly a humbling moment for me to see such great support from the FIFA community to help us for this noble cause. Today's launch party is also a fundraiser for Magic Bus, which is a charity in India that has helped over 1 million children since 1999. That's a long time, and equipped them with skills needed to stay resilient, complete their education, and subsequently break free from the cycle of poverty. Now, a big shout out to all the partners who have made this fundraiser possible. Laureus Sports for Good, MasterCard, Indus Veda, SAF Global Gaming. Thank you so much, Callum, for that. Football clubs, Manchester City FC, Mumbai City FC, Chennai FC, Atletico de Calcutta Mohan Bagan, Odisha FC, and Kerala Blasters FC. What a fantastic lineup this is. Now, if you want to support this cause, all you have to do is click on the donate link below and make a donation directly to Magic Bus. All the proceeds will go towards helping children in India get back to school and complete their education. Now, we're going to be quickly running through the launch party schedule, and that was a lot to take in myself as well, because I'm so overwhelmed by everything that is Magic Bus and its partners are doing during this time, especially during the pandemic. But anyway, moving on through the schedule now, we have a mix of cricket, football, FIFA, and entertainment celebrities, influencers, players, and all personalities lined up for today, which includes a conversation between Harsha, Bhogle, and Michael Vaughan. So as we all know, to kick off the launch party today, we have two amazing gentlemen with us here today, and they're probably amongst the biggest names in the cricket, as we all know about it, and they're strong supporters of Magic Bus and Laureus Sports for Good. Now, over to you, Harsha.
Amazing! I can't wait for this.
And while everyone's having such a fun time, it's great to have Michael Vaughan joining us as well on this Resilience Esports FIFA 21 Invitational. And the good thing about what we're going to do today, we're going to talk the things we know best, which is we're going to talk cricket. But let me remind you too that while Michael earned a reputation being captain of England at a time when a lot of people in England thought beating Australia was banned, but Michael turned that perception around and now makes a living out of cricket as well, and so do I. He's got a very keen eye for football, by the way. So I'm going to be talking a little bit to Michael about football too, and about the heartbreak that goes with watching football in England. See, I started the slide already, Michael. But it's wonderful to have you join us on this wonderful event.
Yeah, I mean, an esport event, Harsha. I can't believe that they've not got me and you playing against each other. A bit of FIFA. You mentioned football. Such a great event. Trying to raise as much money as possible for the Magic Bus Foundation over there in India. Laureus Sports for Good, which is a charity that I've been associated with here in the UK for many years. Nelson Mandela launched the charity many years ago. And his saying was, sport has the power to change the world, and he's absolutely right. We're very fortunate to be involved in sport, and through our fortune of being around sports people, many sports people have got together and decided that sport can change the world. Sport does drive a huge factor of our society, of what we're about, and it's so important that we give that opportunity to absolutely everybody to participate.
I agree. I mean, there's so much in our world today that's divisive. Sport is bringing people together. Quick one before I start talking to Michael about sport and getting his views and having a conversation. I saw Magic Bus, Michael, very early in life. I met this guy called Matthew Spacey, who seemed to have enough energy to light up a city. He was here, there, everywhere. And he said he's getting people to play rugby, and because in India there's not a lot of rugby, getting people off the streets to get them to play football, bringing a lot of joy into their lives, and actually saw them playing football, and I saw it firsthand. And what that did was it took them off the dangers of being on the street, but it introduced them to the reality. And you know, Michael, our sport in cricket, you got a bat and a ball and 20 people can play. But in football, you just got one ball and 40 people can play. It's almost like the Pied Piper. Everyone is where the ball is and the rest of the field is empty. But everyone started to play football, and that migrated so beautifully into education. You go to school and you learn and you continue playing football. And so many thousands upon thousands very quickly started moving into schools. And these are two things that are really close to my heart, sport and education, because that's what taking people off the street. And I hope a lot of them actually come into the mainstream. What I enjoyed, Michael, even more was at the event that I was, the person conducting it was someone who had benefited from the program, gone to school, learned from it, and was now acting like a messiah, almost like calling people back in. So that was good to see. So while we have this conversation with Michael, we'll keep reminding you that this Resilience Esports Invitational is a fun event, but it's also a fundraising event. So from time to time, there will be a little strip at the bottom. If you click on it, you can make a donation. Then you can contribute to Sport for Good. You can contribute to Magic Bus, and you can be sure that it's a worthy cause. We wouldn't be here otherwise. It's a proper thing. But you also want to know about sport. This is also a sport event. And Michael, England and India, our countries are going to be playing cricket together soon. You were part of quite a few series in England. We didn't particularly like Michael because in one of the games he made 197, I think, something like that, something as ridiculous as that, 197, and he got Tendulkar bowled, neither of which was allowed.
Yeah, I mean, England versus India is always a very, very well documented series. Two powerhouses of the cricketing nations. The Indian women are participating against the England women at the minute. England are winning that series, but I think in a young 17-year-old, you found possibly the next star of world cricket in Burma as a young batter. I've not seen a young girl bat as well as that for many, many years. So that's great to see. Generally in Test match cricket, when England play India over the last few years, once England get on a plane to go to India hammer England, and it's been the case. And once India get on a plane to come to England, whether the Indian fans like it or not, England generally hammer India because of the conditions. We've just seen India lose to New Zealand in the World Test Match Championship. New Zealand played better, but I thought it was a little bit unfair. When you think that New Zealand had two Test matches, if you like, as a warm-up to play against India, it just felt a bit unfair on the Indian side.
I never thought, sorry to interrupt you, Michael, I never thought a proud captain of England would say that New Zealand used Test matches against England as a warm-up to play against India. What? That's so much fun to hear.
It still looks to me, Harsha, if the ball moves around a bit, I would be concerned as an Indian fan about the batting. That top six, it hasn't got big runs for a long period of time. I think they've got to find a way of getting scores here in the UK. If they do, they've got the bowling attack to get 20 wickets. if we get a dry period of weather here in the UK, and it can happen, I know that might surprise you, it can happen. If it's very dry, India certainly will be, in my opinion, favourites because of the spin options. I think you've got seam bowlers that bowl very, very well in dry conditions. But if it's a moist few weeks and it's a bit cloudy and a bit wet, and the likes of Anderson, Broad, Wokes come into the game more so, I think India will find it very difficult like they have done the last couple of times here in the UK. So I really do think it's dependent on the weather. If it's dry, India will be fancying it. If it's a bit moist and a bit overcast, I think England will be favourites.
The sun will come out, Michael. I remember the first time I ever went to England wide-eyed. In India, we didn't have a lot of foreign exchange in those days. We're not opened out to the world and really going on a shoestring budget. But that was a 90 tour. I'm just this young fellow trying to make a living. And the summer was so good, Michael. It was like you wanted to preserve every single day. I don't think there was a day's rain through the while the matches were on, except for the one day maybe early on. So hopefully we'll get that too. But what Michael says is something very interesting, and that's why the word resilience is so important in the times that we're going to be able to fight the conditions. I saw England play in India, and the ball was turning square, but it was a straight ball that was getting people out. The ball that wasn't turning, the straight ball was getting people out. Now India go to England and the swinging ball will get India out. I thought England played a slight mean trick on India by giving New Zealand conditions for the test match against India. But it's a history that goes a long way back, you know. For a long time, Michael, a lot of our cricket thought was introduced by what we read from England. Patowdy, Tiger Patowdy's father played Test cricket for England. Ranjit Singh ji, Duleep Singh ji, all played Test cricket for England. So we've got a wonderful common history, and I'm delighted that the trophy, while there is a sponsored trophy as well, is the Patowdy Trophy. I got to know Tiger Patowdy well. Averaged 35 in Test cricket, playing with one eye, and his story was a magnificent story, Michael. Never once said that if I had a second eye, I might have played better, and that's why I enjoy the word resilience. He was royalty, but he was resilient too, and we've got a long shared history, and I hope the charities can bring us together too.
Yeah, I mean, resilience plays such a big part in life. That's why the charities involved in the eSport event is so important. The Laureate Sports for Good Foundation, resilience is what we're asking of a lot of people. And I think more so it's opportunity. We, like most countries and the over 250 charity kind of partnerships that Laureate has with all these sporting charities, it is about getting kids off the street, that are involved in necessarily not great things in terms of gangs, and it's not their fault sometimes, it's just that they're born into that kind of culture. So it's important that we create this opportunity and this resilience for people to be able to join sporting teams, join sporting networks, try and change their mindset from unfortunately being born into or being attached to this kind of culture, and try and bring them over to the culture of what sport is, which is togetherness, that camaraderie, the fun element, the hard work, the sweat and tears of being in a sports team. They're the kind of gangs that I like to see young people involved in, not the gangs on the street causing a little bit of mischief. It's about being in the sporting gangs, and that's why I love working with the Laureate Sports for Good Foundation, because that's what we're trying to create, is that platform for everybody, that platform for everyone to get involved. Doesn't matter what sport you play, there's always a sport for you. If it's for me and you, Harsha, it's cricket, and it always has been and always will be. But you mentioned football, basketball plays a big part, yes, particularly here in the UK. So it's just trying to create that resilience and opportunity for people.
I'd like to thank a lot of people who actively participating in this eSport Invitational. And for all of you watching as well, there's a link right at the bottom. Do click on that and do what you can, because that's going to help people get off the street. We in India are a very, very cricket country. It's in our blood. It's at the very core of our existence. And yet Magic Bus did it through football. And there is no greater team activity than football. And I say that in spite of the fact that my heart beats in cricket. And I know Michael's does too as well. And he's been a bit on the edge of his seat recently at the Euros, Michael.
It really has been a roller coaster. It's like up and down, and you get disappointed many times when you've had this expectation and this hope.
Sorry to interrupt. I was going to ask you about Germany. England versus Germany. I've got friends from England who say, You can prepare all you want and you turn up and Germany will beat you. So was England versus Germany in football a bit like for you playing Australia at cricket?
Oh yeah, absolutely, Harsha. It's monumental. I mean, and we're so used to, particularly in my lifetime, of just losing to Germany. You know, we generally play okay, but they beat us. They out kind of discipline, out kind of perform. They just always seem to have a structure that beats us. And even if it goes to penalties, you kind of go, well, you know, that's the norm. We're so used to doing that and losing to Germany. But that's why I say it's just been so calm. The professionalism, the manner of the victory against Germany, it was just too easy. We had one moment when Muller was through on goal at 1-0 and we thought, oh, here we go, he'll put it in the back of the net. But this England side are good. You know, that's the crunch of it.
I was in England in 2018 watching, unfortunately I watched the Croatia game from a hotel room in Nottingham, so we won't talk about that. Before we come to cricket, ever played FIFA?
Yes.
And was there a footballer you wanted to be? Was there a footballer you wanted to be? If you thought, I'm playing this FIFA game, but actually the whole universe is conspiring to pass the ball to me.
Well, I would say Ronaldo, Messi. You know, I'm a massive football fan and I've played FIFA quite a lot, particularly when I used to tour with England back in the early 2000s. We would spend many nights playing FIFA. I was Man United, Ashley Giles was Arsenal, Graham Thorpe was Chelsea, and we used to have hours
and
hours.
Arsenal always won.
No, actually, I managed to sneak them. You know, FIFA's it's one of those games that you play. But the problem is you then want to go and try and emulate it in the garden and try and copy what you've just produced on the computer screen. But no, great fun. The way the world's changed, Harsha, that now we're having esports competitions like we are today. Fly Club, if you want to donate, that's what today's all about, a fundraising event for Magic Bus and the Laurie Sports for Good Foundation. But how the world has changed, it's remarkable what's happening, and for the better. I think it's a way of communicating. A lot of these kids, you know, they need to communicate, and if one way of communication is by playing each other on a FIFA game, that's fantastic.
Dare I say it, the last time I saw a recorded FIFA game, it was faster than the original. It was, they are so good. I've always wondered, I've never played it myself, but I've always wondered, how do the passes reach exactly where they're meant to? In real football, you know, you're crossing, you know, the left back's making a run, you know, he's clear, you pass to him. Oh, I find it fascinating. So all you guys who are playing this program, fantastic. Before we end, I want to bring Michael back to cricket. He talked briefly about England, India, and playing together. Is there a player that excites you? I'll tell you what the player in England that excites me. Is there an Indian player or a couple of Indian players that excite you and you'd look forward to because you're going to be working on that series?
Yeah, I think you've got the most exciting player in the world, and he's a player that just recently, you know, he played a shot in the second innings of the World Test Match Championship final. He was criticised for it. He's going to be that player that has those kind of moments on a regular basis. That's Rishabh Pant. And I just beg people to just let him be. Just let him play, because, you know, sport needs flamboyancy. It needs people, personnel that do things that necessarily aren't from the textbook, because that's why we love it. And I just think in Rishabh Pant, whether he should stay at number 6, I question. Maybe number 7 would be the better position if he's going to play in that flamboyant way all the time. I just love players that look like they're playing, you know, the spotlight of pressure. And playing for India, there's no more of a spotlight on a sports person than playing for the Indian national cricket team. And he looks like he's playing in the garden. And that's the biggest trait and the best compliment I can give a player is, if you can look like you're just enjoying playing like you used to in your backyard or in the garden or on the street, please don't stop. Carry on being that person, playing in that fashion. And I hope Ravi Shastri, Virat Kohli, they'll have quiet words of making sure that there are times when, you know, you can't always play one way. That would be the advice I said. You can't always play one way, but please don't take away that cheekiness, that positivity that he brings to the game. I think he's a wonderful cricketer.
And it looks like India might have a full-strength England team to be up against. For a while, England didn't seem to want to put out a full-strength team because they were resting. Chris Woakes didn't play for a long time, played a couple of games, he was rested again. We know the whole story about Johnny Bairstow. It'll be a fantastic series. England at full strength, India hopefully not losing too many people like happened in Australia, though that result was fantastic too. And we'll get a great series. But Michael said something very interesting about Rishabh Pant looking like he's playing in the garden. He just brings the freedom of children's cricket almost to the international platform. We all look at him and say, oh, we would have loved to play like that. And so the one thing I will tell all people is if you've got a 7-8-year-old who's enjoying it, please don't put him in academies. Just let him have fun. Let her have fun. And then when they get better, maybe start to push them there. And the power of sport to make things happen is unparalleled. I've seen that with Magic Bus. Michael's seen that with Sport for Good. And if you can maybe just convert your passion for sport into something nice, you can just click on the link, make a little donation. What I can assure you is from what I've seen with Magic Bus, and Michael will say that with Sport for Good and what Lores is doing as well, that it will go to using sport for a good cause. Eventually, Magic Bus puts children in schools. And as someone who grew up just outside a city in Hyderabad and I saw young children not going to school, I realized how schools can change people's life. I remember one day I'm sitting, Michael, with a colleague of mine in the car, and his driver's driving. He was managing director of a company, and the driver's daughter was an air hostess with Jet Airways. And I thought that is what education does. It opens lives, it opens careers for you, and I hope we can do that. So on that note, thank you very much for joining us. It will be 2-0 to India at the end of the test series, but I'll get that out of the It'll be a good series, India.
Where are you going to get some draws from in the UK? You don't get draws here in the UK. They generally last 3.5 days.
I know. Okay, we'll go 3-2 to India. It'll rain one of those days, and there is no sixth day. But I've enjoyed this conversation, Michael, as I always do, because underneath this very modern, occasionally on social media provocative veneer is someone whose heart beats for sport. I've seen that, and that is a side of Michael I'm delighted that we saw today. Someone's heart beats for sport and contributes for it. So all of you esports fans, all of you esport champs, and all of you watching in, if it means you've got to play esport, play esport. If it means playing cricket in the backyard, play cricket in the backyard, kick a ball around, and contribute a little bit to allow other people to do that. Thank you very much, Michael, and look forward to the series.
Cheers, guys.
Welcome back, everyone. That was a fantastic conversation between the two greats of the cricket world, actually, I have to say, Harsha, Bhogle, and Michael Vaughan. Thank you so much for that. And now we'll be moving on to our first match of the day, which is between Stingray from the UK and Saf Cameron from the UK. Now, I think I'm going to send this over to my co-caster, Callum, who is going to have a discussion about how these players and what their achievements are. But
I mean, they're teammates as well, so this is quite an interesting game, really. They're two of the best young players coming up through in the UK scene. Between the two of them, they've represented already, so bearing in mind they're just 16 and 17 years old, they've already represented Aston Villa and Liverpool Football Club, two of the biggest teams in the United Kingdom. So these players have got a big future. They're still very young. We developed them as an esports team. They're sort of our stars for the future. And on top of that, they're not only teammates, so they're also rivals. So I think we're in for a hell of a game today.
Wow, that's some fantastic achievements at the age of 16. I don't remember what I was doing at 16. But I think these two are so talented, and I think with the right guidance under Saf, I'm pretty sure they're gonna
I think so. I think they're going right to the top. I hope so anyway. So I'm just hearing my headpiece. I think they're just about ready. So we're just about ready now to join them live. And then I think afterwards they're going to come in and sort of share a few thoughts with us.
Oh yeah, perfect. Sounds good. Sounds good.
Lovely. Just connecting in now. Here we go. I think... No, hang on. Not quite yet. Not quite yet. There we go. We are ready.
Awesome.
So you can see Cameron there with a hashtag kit on. Interesting. As the game's going to load, hopefully you'll see one of the teams. Here you go. This is a pro team. This is Cameron's team for you. You can see Ronaldo, Mbappe, Hullet, Vinicius Jr, Atal, Di Maria. It's a mad team. It's a mad, mad team. Yeah. All right, and we have kicked off. Here we go. So we've got on the left-hand side, playing in yellow is Saf Cameron. In pink is Stingray.
I'll be taking you guys through actually as to how the players have performed over the years, over the season as well. Callum is going to talk about them, but with that being said, I think Stingray is straight away. You see the number of players that are going forward for him. It's incredible, really.
I think they're both going for it, aren't they? They're not holding back. For them, this is actually the end of the season. So for them, this is sort of an exhibition game. It's the end of the season. They've got the ultimate team that they've built, and now they're just going to throw everything they've got at each other. Cameron on the attack. Good save from the keeper.
That was a beautiful ball roll scoop down, as you see from all the pro players. I think this is one of the most overpowered skills in the game. As we all know as FIFA players and FIFA enthusiasts, that what a beautiful pass that is. That's kind of like a MOBA thing from the qualifiers.
Well, within the team in SAP, so Stingray is known for his through balls, so much so that we call them the Sting Ball.
Wow. We even know about the impact spin, don't we?
Oh, the impact spin as well. That's another SAP player. We've got our own moves, you see. We're changing the game one player at a time.
That's some brilliant passing from Cameron. That I think the build-up play is all about FIFA 21. I've seen this. You have to be extremely patient and wait for the opponent to basically make a mistake when you're outside the box.
Oh, definitely, 100%. I think one of the things that I think has been more entertaining than say last year in FIFA 20 is actually the number of goals that's now scored compared to last year. I mean, you see some mad games where you sort of 8, 9, 10 goals sometimes. I mean, it's all end-to-end stuff. It's much more entertaining.
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, back in FIFA 20, we all saw, I think, the drop back meta. I think all the FIFA enthusiasts who are watching, everybody who plays the game would know exactly what I'm saying right now. And that being said, that's a fantastic pass.
Oh, what a goal!
Mbappe.
Top bins, pick that out, son.
What a beautiful goal that was. I think Mbappe doing that drag back in a diagonal direction and then smashing one in from his left foot, that to his weaker one. I think that's a fantastic goal from Cameron right there.
That is, laying down the marker. I wonder
Absolutely.
what Stingray's going to do to respond here. So what's interesting, these guys, they actually played in the E-Premier League finals as well. So when they were against each other, Aston Villa against Liverpool. Now, at the time, Stingray had the upper hand. Stingray came away with a win. Cameron, I think they went into the losers bracket at the time. But it was a hell of a game. It could have went either way. So I wonder if Cameron's out for revenge today.
Definitely. With that being said, he is back with a bang.
That didn't take long, did it? That didn't take long.
It did not. It definitely did not, because that was some aggressive tackling right outside the box to snatch the ball in. Straight away plays it to Cristiano Ronaldo. That was a scoop turn. And right there near post, that Ronaldo is not going to miss. Maxed out stats as well.
Oh, he's mad. It's a mad card, isn't it? Mad card. It's just that, you know what amazes me with both the Messi and Ronaldo is just how long they've done it for, you know?
Absolutely.
It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. And within FIFA, they've always had those top-rated cards as well.
Yeah, I mean, every single time they've gotten a special card. With that being said,
that heel to heel. Oh, he's done him. Oh, what are we seeing? He's toying with him.
Oh my God, what I've seen. I don't think so. I've seen a goal like that even in the qualifiers.
Oh, that was sauce, wasn't it? That's the composure to do a heel to heel where he did there to make the goal. Oh, spectacular! That's Neymar. That's the 99 rated Neymar. Phenomenal card.
What a fantastic goal that was. I think that is one for the highlight reel.
That is
sure.
definitely. I think we'll be showing that one for a long time to come.
Wow.
Cameron will want to forget it, I'm sure.
I think he's just gonna text Stingray after the game. Like, why did you have to do that to me on stream?
Definitely.
No, that was a fantastic goal. Those 2-3 skills, and just to even wait for the defender to come back and still score. It's absolutely fantastic. But going back to FIFA 20 though, Callum, we were talking about the game was so boring, as we can say. It was less number of goals, but in FIFA 21, the number of goals just increased, and that's absolutely fantastic, isn't it?
It is. I think it makes for much better viewing. Definitely. It's something that I hope is maintained into FIFA 22. Obviously, we're only 2 months away now from the new game and the new esports cycle, so something to really look forward to.
No, absolutely. I think FIFA 22 has a lot of changes, but with the way Stingray is absolutely smashing it with his attack, the number of bodies that are going forward for him, he's going to be a player to watch for in FIFA 22.
Oh, definitely. I think they both will. Hopefully, they both will.
Of course. So young and so talented.
Oh, he's ball holding.
Fantastic pass.
Oh, that through ball to set him through on goal was superb, wasn't it? It was all in the pass, and then he's gone round the keeper. He's made it look effortless.
He did. I mean, I don't think so that in a normal circumstance, Ronaldo could have gotten that if there's any other card. But with that being a 99 rated Ronaldo, he just catched up to the through ball as well.
Yeah, no, phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And he's in here again. He's trying to use the off the ball movement. It's something that it's one of those moves that actually I've never mastered at all, the off the ball movement. But I think with the pro scene, it's becoming more and more popular.
Yeah, of course, because it gives you a manual control. Like I myself use it in a lot of competitive games actually, and it basically gives you an additional option to pass into whenever you don't see an AI making a run for you.
Oh. That's some risky defending, isn't it? He's trying to be so casual at the back there. Almost gets caught out.
He does. And you see the number of bodies going forward. Like, it's incredible. Look at him go.
Yeah. Absolutely throwing them forward. Oh, he's hit the post.
Oh, my goodness.
Right on the stroke of half time. He hits the post. He could have went in at 3-2. It's been one hell of a half. We've just seen non-stop attacking FIFA so far.
Wow.
2-2. Could have went either way. I mean, who's your money on for the second half?
No, I think Stingray has blown me away with his attacking play style, especially with those random lob through passes, crosses, everything that he's doing basically. Although he is playing a bit risky defensively, but I think going forward he's just phenomenal. So he's going to take it away from me. Look at that.
Long ball straight from the off. And if Ronaldo gets his head on there, I mean, Cameron's going to lose his head, isn't he?
I mean, that was almost...
That's how controllers get broken.
Oh, yeah, for sure. He's probably the 8th or 9th controller in that case. Cameron will have to buy.
But I think that sort of move is definitely... It's a fairly new one, isn't it? Where you're sort of playing those long balls over the top. I remember the first time I really saw it was actually just at the... it was at the playoffs. When I saw Mo Orba, the current, the reigning world champion of FIFA, when he started, he brought it out. He's the
longest.
Yeah,
he's the longest serving world champion, 3 years in a row.
Unbelievable, isn't it? He's only made it to one final. Amazing.
And he's been a champion since 3 years because of the pandemic. Yeah. Fantastic to see, though.
Oh, he's a lovely guy, Mo. His smile lights up a room.
Absolutely. And I think what Stingray was trying is something that actually Julio tried, if you saw the West Asia playoffs, where he was down
right,
and he needed a goal. Like in the 120th minute, he basically scored that goal to win it and qualify for the World Cup.
What a way to qualify. That's amazing.
What a way to qualify.
Yeah.
So that was fantastic. This is exactly what reminded me as soon as Stingray did that.
Yeah.
Both these players are fantastic, Callum. Absolutely.
They certainly are. Now, we both know that India is relatively new to the FIFA esports team. They've only just been recently allowed to compete. But what amazes me is the progress that seems to be happening in the country. How would you best describe it?
I'd describe it as in a situation that if India had that kind of eligibility, I think 2-3 years ago, certainly we would have had player at least for the one of the LAN events for sure, because the kind of talent that we have is just that the infrastructure is not in place. This is something that I always talk about whenever someone asks me about the FIFA scene. But look at those skills right now. It's almost scored a goal.
He did, yeah. Both Stingray and Cameron, they're both known for their incredible ball control.
I'm sure like you've got the likes of Impacts as well in the team.
Exactly. It certainly helps. They're all watching them and do the impact finger, and I can do that as well.
No, absolutely. I think once that video was out, everybody was onto it. And in a flash. But yeah, going back to the topic for India, I think it's the players are so talented. I think we've played against people from all across the globe in different friendlies, and we've fairly performed well. Got a lot of appreciation for players who've been competing for years. So that basically goes to show there's a lot of promise and a lot of good things to come in the future once we have a better infrastructure in place with, all those weekly and daily tournaments that happen. If that starts to happen here, I think.
Oh, definitely. I think that's the sort of thing that will drive players to hit their potential as well, by having those regular tournaments where they're playing the best of the best week in, week out. I mean, that's been one of the keys to our success this season within SAF, is where we've got our pro players, they're constantly playing each other, trying to better themselves. And even a game like this, they're obviously going all out for attack. They both want to win this game desperately. But it's just driving all the time to try and hit new heights and try and be better than the other players in the team. And I think that's what really drives, players to get better and better to hit those new heights.
No, absolutely. I think playing against each other, not just as teammates, but if you look at it from a competitive point of view, at the end of the day, it's a 1v1 game, and you got to best your teammate and push them to the next stage of their gameplay as well. That basically helps the whole team. So
definitely.
That's definitely something that we do here in India as pros as well, playing against each other, because there are like at least 10 pros who are pretty good, and then there are upcoming players who've performed really, really well. So, yeah, hopefully there's a promising future ahead for us.
Fingers crossed. I'll be certainly paying a close eye and paying a bit of attention to see what comes out of the scene. I mean, later on today, we've got India's #1 FIFA player, haven't we, coming onto the stream?
Well, yeah, we do. CJ, I mean, he's just absolutely conquered the Indian FIFA scene since the last 3 years, I have to say. Him, and of course, this year coming up the ranks is Addy, which he's on the FIFA Global Series rankings. He's the second best player in India, and he's just only played for 2 seasons.
Wow.
Against the pros, at least. So, I mean, it's fantastic how talented, and that guy's attack is really good. Like, it basically gives me a reflection of Cameron's game in him when he uses those player locks and all. So you'll see once they start playing.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to that game later. It's certainly going to be a great one. So into the 80th minute here. We haven't had as many goals in this second half. I'm just wondering who's going to... Oh, here we go. I was going to say take the initiative. Oh, he's put it just over the bar.
Wow. That was not something I was expecting. No, that was a simple finish.
He's been so calm and composed so far in this game. I thought he was going to chip the keeper, put it in the back of the net, and then he'll probably shut up shop to win 3-2. But Cameron's now on the attack. We go into a frantic final 5 minutes.
This is absolutely fantastic. Yeah, especially Cameron's dribbling. It's something that I really admire.
He's so
especially
composed.
on the edge of the box.
The left stick dribbling is just phenomenal. He's combining left stick dribbling, a couple of skill moves as well, trying to find that space, because you can see just how many players Stingray's got back there, desperately defending.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, all the players are moving as a unit up and down for Stingray, which is fantastic to see, which is why he stopped Cameroon from scoring so many goals already, because his attack is absolutely incredible, especially with that left stick dribbling. Now, I mean, to basically see that pros use this time to build up right till the end, unless and until they see one opportunity which is being built by Cameroon right now, outside the box.
We both know about the 90th minute secret weapon. Yeah, they all want that final chance. Is it a penalty? Yes, it is. Oh, he's gone down. The ref's given it. This to win the game in the 91st minute. Oh, he's missed. What are we seeing in the 91st minute?
What have I just seen here? The 90th minute curse while defending, but then getting away with the penalty miss. I mean, it's just fantastic, isn't it?
Oh my God. Amazing. Both players could have won it there in the final dying minutes. Cameron's going to have his head in his hands. I presume now we're going to see the next week. We're going into extra time. We got 30 more minutes of this game. I mean, what a game this is. That's amazing, isn't it?
It's just fantastic because both the players have had crazy amount of chances. You see Cameron having the chance to, Stingray actually having the chance to chip it over the keeper and finish the game off right there. But then, yeah, that didn't happen. And then this penalty didn't happen for Cameron. So going into extra time now. Now, this is crazy how the kind of players that you can use, Callum, right at the end of this game. Everybody talks about how the game gets a bit dead right at the end, but you can use these cards that you could never use, obviously, at the start or the middle of the game, because not everyone can pack those Team of the Years, right?
Exactly. And what's really enjoyable is that actually you don't have to spend a load of money to get these players anymore because they are that accessible. I mean, this Zaha card is a great example of that. It's the Footy Zaha. I think, is it the highest rated card you need for that? It's an 83 rated squad? It's not.
With that being said, we just had a goal from none other than Cristiano Ronaldo.
Great finish. Cameron sort of regrouped himself at the break point there, and he's obviously thought, well, I've missed the penalty, picked himself up again. Good, calm finish.
Yeah, that's a sign of a top pro, basically, to basically come back right after you've missed something to score a goal and get that confidence back.
Oh, definitely. Some people will be disheartened and think, well, the game's not going for me, is it? But Cameron picks himself up, dusts himself down, straight back onto it.
Absolutely, and that goes the same case with Stingray as well. But yeah, talking about that Footy Zaha, I think he was heavily involved in that goal from Ronaldo. So you can say that Zaha card is absolutely cracked. I have to use the word because
definitely.
What a great player, though. We've seen this so many times in games. Exactly what I was talking about, Callum. That directional bridge, that directional nutmeg that you call, that is just absolutely phenomenal, isn't it?
What a swift move that was. That was something quite special, wasn't it?
It really was, because you see that directional being spammed by all the pros in those 45-degree angles to score those goals. It's absolutely phenomenal, isn't it? You can't stop it as well.
It's such a hard move to defend. It really is. Oh, here we go. Cameron on the attack, though. Oh, he thinks the keeper's going to move. He's put money on the fact the keeper's going to go far post. He's tried to hit it near post. Stingray stands his ground, makes an excellent save. I mean, game. Amazing. What a half we've just seen there. And I think with things like the keeper movement that was first introduced, I think it was FIFA 19, FIFA 20. The keeper movement has become such an important part of the game, because if you can work out where your opponent is going to put the ball, then you can keep him at bay, can't you? And it's sort of a bit of a mind game. It gives you such an advantage. Straight away there, Stingray, it's like he was inside Cameron's head, almost reading the story as it was happening.
It was indeed. I mean, when you see the players playing against each other for such a long time, you tend to know what they're going to do. But when it comes to keeper movement, it's still very difficult, isn't it? Even if you've played with a player for like 5 years together and you know their game from every angle.
And we've just seen the exact opposite, haven't we? He's gone to the opposite post. Cameron thinks he's gone to the far post. Stingray's gone, I'm in your head still, son. I'm still reading the story. He's put it near post. 4-3 Stingray. We have a game on our hands here. Wow.
We indeed do. And the best part is that you cannot never guess the goalkeeper, no matter how long you've been playing against each other for.
That's a classic example right there. Great defending there by Ramos. Did you see that? Off the ball just slightly. Took his player out of the game. Made sure he couldn't get onto the end of that ball. That Ramos card, I don't know about you, Lockie, but that Ramos card to me has probably been the best defender I've used all year.
Oh yeah, for sure. He is the best player, even in reality. You know, see, that Ramos is generational, and they've exactly put it in the game as well. Especially, and having a player who's fast alongside him, I think that's the best centre-back partnership.
Oh, definitely. This is interesting because you've got that Edo Militao Future Stars. Is it Future? No, end of an era. No, not end of an era.
It's FOF. I don't know.
That's the one. That's the one. There's been so many different promos this year, isn't there? I think it's a 96 rated Edo Militao card. It partners beautifully with that Ramos card. Absolutely, it's amazing. It's the two cards that I use. He's got the pace, whereas Ramos has got the power. Oh, Cameron's trying to do a heel to heel. He's gone past the keeper, but the defender's there.
That was some fantastic defending. He kind of got lucky as well, if I have to say. And with that being said, we are literally in the last minute of this game. 120th minute. Can Cameroon make the most of this?
He shoots, he scores! We might have penalties on our hands. Oh, what a day. Wow.
What a match. What a match this has been. 120th minute, as we all know. What a fantastic pass that was. That composure. Maxed out composure to play that pass after doing that skill, and bang, first time.
We're into
now
a
we are into
shootout.
penalties. Yeah?
Takes it very quickly, didn't he? He didn't have much time to test himself there.
Cameron missing the first. Can Stingray score this one? Yes, he does. Goes bottom left.
Calm and
Doesn't
composed. Miss. Oh, he's done it with the Panenka. Oh, no. Oh, what am I seeing?
Cheeky Panenka. Can he score this one? Stingray goes to the same side, and this time Cameron just a bit far away from saving that.
Oh, 2-2. Cameron's staying in this. He's applying the pressure. Having missed his first 2 penalties of the game, obviously missed one in the full time. Stingray replies with the Panenka as well. Oh, this is brilliant.
This is brilliant. The confidence that these guys has, and then Cameron scores. So he can't now. All he has to do is just save this to stay in the game. Otherwise, it is going to Stingray, isn't it?
Oh, Cameron to stay in the game has to score this. Oh, the confidence. But
and
now he needs to save it.
He has to, because this is the last penalty. If Stingray scores, he wins this one.
Oh, the confidence. He's in it, top pins. Oh, what a game we've had there. I mean,
that was a fantastic game, Callum. What have we just witnessed? I think all the viewers are extremely delighted with watching this. Extra time, then going to penalties, goal after goal, and for us to actually have the winning goal as a top bin. Right top corner.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Couldn't have asked for more, though, I think. Right, let's bring you back to the two of us again. We're going to have Stingray and Cameron joining us in just a moment as well.
Perfect. So you'll be having a chat with those with the boys, or am I doing it? Are we both?
No, they're going to join us, both of us, mate. We're going to do it at the same time. It's going to be okay.
Awesome. That's perfect.
Lovely. So, I mean, just looking back at some of the goals there, what was your highlight of the game there, then, Lockie?
Now, I think the best part about the game was that last goal in the 120th minute. I know we've seen some fantastic, but the composure that you need to equalize at the sudden death, and that he didn't do a skill to take a shot on his own. He actually went ahead and passed it, and that first time shot, that is max composure. That talks about you being a pro, and it talks about you playing at the highest level. That differentiates you from the crowd for sure.
Definitely. I think the thing about these pro players as well, so it's not just about the composure they have, it's also about the vision, because they see things, I mean, it's similar to yourself, Lockie, will see things off the ball that I'd say standard FIFA players like myself don't see, and it's sort of picturing the game and being one step ahead of your opponent.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, you got to read your opponent's gameplay. That's the first thing about being a pro, because if you keep playing your own way and the opponent keeps playing, it's just about matching each other up, and if you can take an advantage out of it, and that's what I feel a casual player doesn't pay too much attention, like you yourself said. Yeah.
Oh, definitely. Right, I'm just going to see where they are. Hopefully they should be with us in a minute.
I'd love to have a word with these two. I mean, so young. Like, I'm 25. I already feel old. Like, I don't know, Callum, how
I hate to say it, Lockie, in esports you are.
I mean, you must be talking to 16, 17-year-old players who are absolutely goated on those sticks, as we always say.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I'll put it this way. So we launched our own FIFA academy, right?
Oh.
And we took on a young player called Tommy Mackey, who was just 14. Now, to be able to compete on the FIFA esports scene at the moment, you have to be 16. But we saw such potential in him at such a young age that actually we thought, well, we want him on the books for when he turns 16, because I'm telling you now, he's 15. Next year he turns 16. So it'll be FIFA what, 23? Oh, I'll be 30 by then. That's depressing. FIFA 23, you're going to have Tommy Mackey. Just remember that name, because I tell you, he's going to be some player. I believe we have both Dan and Cam now joining us.
Awesome.
So hopefully they'll connect in. They'll be able to hear us.
Fantastic.
Yo,
That's Dan. Dan at Stingray, how are you?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. How are you?
Not too bad. How did you find the game?
It was fun, to be fair. 8-8 and a penalty. 8-8, 4-4, 8 goals and a penalty shootout.
Just
You
doubling
can't
up for
complain.
safe measure.
You can't complain about pens.
Oh, mate, it's nice to see you winning a penalty shootout. That's what I've seen you win one, lose one, and you've won another one now.
Don't get me started on pens.
So you've got myself and Lockie in the Zoom. We're going to be sort of talking mainly to you first, and then Cam will come on to you in just a second.
Okay.
Highlights from that game, Stingray. Talk me through them.
Probably my last penalty is probably my favourite. Green time, top corner with no circle.
The confidence, amazing.
I've been working on that for absolute months.
Is that what you've been doing on the off season? Is it?
Just sitting in the practice arena trying it, and it's finally worked.
Yeah, no, I mean, a hell of a penalty. I mean, you both had the confidence to try the Paneka at various points as well. There was a particular goal for me where I think it was with your Neymar. You heel-to-heeled it past the keeper. You looked up. He almost walked it in the back of the net. Was that an own goal? Did you shoot? Was that an own goal or?
So I shot cancelled to try and get a bait off the defender on the line. And then Cam Militao just decided to slide the ball into the goal. So
That's kind of him, wasn't it? That's very good. It was like, you've done so well here, son. Put that in the back of the net yourself. Lovely. Lockie, have you got any questions, my man?
Oh, of course. I mean, I want to ask Stingray about this specifically. Is that when you have so many players going forward, do you play like that in qualifiers as well? Are you like, or was this just because it was an exhibition match? Because to have so many players going forward together, I myself being a pro, I mean, you would be a little careful that you shouldn't be having all the players going forward.
it depends really. If someone's playing really slow and just really aggressive, if someone's playing really slow and not very aggressive, I tend to sit back a bit more, just try and kill the game out. But if someone's sending their players at me, I feel like the best defense is offense. So I just start throwing everyone forward, try catching them in counters.
Wonderful, wonderful. I think that's the only fascinating thing that I have to say that I found about Stingray's game.
Yeah.
One of the many fascinating things.
Oh,
but
it's
this was, like,
amazing.
right at the top.
You know what, Stingray? It was lovely to see Stingball back.
Sting was back in at full force.
Yeah, it certainly was, wasn't it? It was no messing about that. Poor Cam got caught with it a couple of times, but who knows? Maybe that'll still work for FIFA 22. If not, I've got no doubts that you'll adapt. So Sting,
crossed.
yeah, exactly, mate. I mean, you represented Liverpool this year in the Premier League. What are your plans for next year?
Obviously go back to back in E-Prem, qualify for as many events as I can, and hopefully get that England spot, which I missed out on this year.
Oh, you were so close, weren't you? You were so close. It was head in hands moment again for us, but yeah, we'll get there next year. I'm more than sure of it. Lovely. Right, Cam, let's bring you into the chat, my man. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. How did you find it?
It's a good bit of fun. It's always nice to have a more, not a serious game against Sting and have just a little bit of fun with it and try and be as entertaining as possible for everyone.
Well, exactly. Now, I hate to say it, Cam. I've watched 2 games with you and Stingray now. You're 0-2. How are we going to change this for FIFA 22?
You know what? Both of them have been on pens. It's a sore subject, but to be fair, me and Sting have played hundreds of pens against each other, like practicing this year. So,
yeah.
I
mean, there was a couple of moments in the last minute of the game. You've got the penalty to win it.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
What? You took it so quickly as well. It's like bang, straight in there.
So my thought process was right. Sting knows normally where I put my penalties. I was like, do I go obvious and go there? I was like, no, I'll change it up. And then, I missed anyway, but he dived the right way, so he probably still would have saved it.
Yeah, very honest of you. Very honest of you. For us, I mean, it was such an end-to-end last 5 minutes. We had the lobbed ball from Stingray that's just went over the bar. And we thought he's missed that, but he's been so composed all game. And then we had the penalty shootout from you, or the penalty from you, leading into extra time. And you then almost sort of avenged yourself in the 120th minute.
Yeah.
You left it late. Talk us through the goal.
Well, obviously I was just trying to press and win that ball back first, because that's not the easiest thing to do. And I was just like, got to make this last attack count. And luckily, I had the composure to pass it into Zaha into the middle, who scored the goal. The formation obviously helps. There's a lot of men up there to pass to. But yeah, Zaha had a very good finish there at the end to equalise, which I'm grateful for.
Yeah, no, superb equaliser. Lockie, over to you, my man.
Absolutely. I mean, Cameron, you were fantastic in that game. And I was talking to Callum about your last goal, that composure that you need. How do you do it at such a young age? This is a question I want to ask all the pros, actually, because you see the likes of Anders, you see all these young players coming in. You yourself are so young. How do you manage that mental pressure so well?
Just hours and hours and hours of practice. Like, I'm sure Cal knows, obviously, all throughout the season, like, both me and Sting would sit there in Discord calls, playing all these other pros for hours and hours every day. They're just getting used to that, and obviously, like, practice matches and then taking it into tournaments. And obviously, as I've had more tournaments as time's gone on, I've got a lot more used to the pressure and being able to keep composed to, like, get results.
Fantastic. Because I'm pretty sure even at that age, you've achieved so much. What's going to happen when you peak? I just cannot wait to see. Good luck with your next season, Cameron. Hope to chat with you soon.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
Cam and Stingray, before you jump off, I've got one final question for you both, and it goes to both of you this. Cam, I'm going to start with you. If you could give one tip to a person that wanted to get into esports, FIFA esports, what would it be?
Oh, it's a good question. I think if you want to get into it, you have to be able to dedicate a lot of time into it and be willing to go through lots of practice matches and be able to, like, just do simple things like review your gameplay, and, like, you have to take it seriously, analyze everything, and just practice. Because at the end of the day, every pro has got to the level they're at just from practicing and getting better at the game. Because, you know, you need to play to learn the mechanics. So if you do that over and over again, you'll be able to make it in the scene.
Awesome. And Stingray?
I'm pretty sure there's a button on your controller called triangle.
Oh, fantastic.
That's brilliant. What a response. That is Stingball to a T. Just press that one and then you run through your score. Lovely. Guys, thank you for playing today. I really do appreciate it. Well played. Obviously, we're looking forward to next season with you both. All right?
Yeah.
Take care,
Thank
guys.
you, Carl. Thank you.
Guys. Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Right. Lockie, so I think now, my man, we head over to our sponsors, MasterCard. They've got a quick ad to show you, I think, very quickly.
Oh, awesome. Let's run. Yeah. All right, so we're back after that fantastic MasterCard show that we have on the stream. So now, while we have the two teams getting ready for the match, we've had a chance to catch up with Dia Mirza earlier today, and then doing a quick AMA session with her. So let's watch some of the highlights of that conversation in our timeout with Dia Mirza.
My favorite color is yellow. My favorite food is my mom's home-cooked food, Hyderabadi khatti dal, chawal, and a little bit of achar, and that's it. I'm home. The first thing I do when I wake up in the morning is pretty much what I think everybody does, reach for my phone and turn off the alarm. Thankfully, I have a very nice alarm. It's basically birds chirping, so at least it's not like I don't wake up with a shock. I think, well, it's no secret to my friends and family, but it could be a secret to my fans. I'm a really good cook. There are actually many talents that I wish I had, and I hope to be able to learn some of those things. One, of course, is the ability to play a musical instrument. It's one big regret that I never got down to learning how to play the piano or the guitar. It's something that I would love to do at some point in life. Yes, of course. There is a song that now has a very deep connection with my life, and it's a song that I've always loved. It's Imagine. Okay, so interestingly, I played a lot of sport growing up. I played cricket, I played basketball, volleyball, football, and scrape my knees and have like rough fights with my friends. But I think in my adult life, I've not really been able to play any sport, and that would be a big regret, because moving into a place like Mumbai, I know a lot of my friends do play football now, which is great. I envy it. Maybe I'll get down to it someday. But I really miss being in school and playing all the different sports that I did. I used to swim a lot. I used to ride. I used to horse ride. I used to even play a little bit of badminton. In fact, the club where I used to go to swim was the same club that Mirza used to play tennis at. And I used to watch little Sanya playing tennis with her mom, always around, watching and cheering and supporting her. It was quite amazing. Well, I think it would be the Indian cricket team, because especially the one that was led by Mahendra Singh Dhoni. It was a phase of cricket that I watched very closely. Many of my favorite cricketers were a part of the team at the time. I still watch cricket, but not as much as I did when Dhoni was leading the team for India. And also Sachin Tendulkar. Yeah. I could have been, I think, a pro at swimming because I was quite good. I used to win almost every competition I took part in, especially backstroke and breaststroke. So I think that if that was something that I'd taken up more seriously, I could have really gone far with it. All the football fans are like leaving this session right now. I feel like I was so privileged to go to a very unique and a very beautiful school that offered us such an amazing environment that was free of fear, where we had no uniform, we didn't have exams, we played all kinds of sport, and we spent so much time outdoors learning. A lot of our classes would be held under trees. We would have, these amazing morning bird watching walks, treks that we would go on. It was a very special time of my life, and I think if I had to think back to the best part of my childhood, it would be my time in school, learning, the teachers, my friends, and I have some of course, the deepest bonds that were formed were during that phase of my life, and I'm very, very grateful that I still have those friendships. This is actually a great time to request everyone who's watching this to donate to Magic Bus and help them send 1 million children back to school. All you need to do is to click on the link available. I think 13, my God, it's a very crucial time in our lives, isn't it? Our hormones are changing and there's so much happening in our bodies and there's so little we understand of it. I think I would tell my 13-year-old self that to trust myself a little more, to be a little more patient and consistent in my efforts to achieve what it is that I was trying to, and not give up. To be able to restore the balance of nature, to basically help every human being understand that we are dependent on nature and that we need to stop polluting the environment and causing climate change. Can somebody please make that superpower possible for me? Well, unfortunately, the pandemic has set us back on the Sustainable Development Goals, and one of the big setbacks is education for all. And our children are deeply impacted by this, and especially our girls. I just hope that in our efforts to build back better, we can really drive our focus and make every effort that we can to ensure our children are back in school. Not all children have the privilege or the access to technology. So there are while there are many children who are going to school through, the internet, there are many more that are not going to school because they don't have the internet. They don't have the devices one needs to be able to go on online schools. So I truly, and I, with all my heart, hope that we will, step up efforts to ensure that we take children back to school, and we especially ensure and find ways to bring girls back to school. And for all of you watching right now, if you would like to help children stay resilient and complete their secondary education, you can support the Magic Bus, and all you need to do is to donate by clicking on this link, and or visit www.resesports.com to donate.
Awesome. Welcome back, guys, to the Resilience Esports FIFA 21 Invitational launch party today. We're back with, that was a fantastic time out with Dia Mirza, as you all saw, and what she has to say.
So very passionate about things, isn't it? Right at the end there, amazing, just heartwarming more than anything.
Absolutely, absolutely. But now it's time to, for all of us to get back to the game that I think most of the people in India are looking for, especially who follow the pro scene, is the number one player in India, which is Charanjot Singh, as we all call him, CJ. And we all know how good he is, and he's playing against his teammate at Connect in Esports, which is at each other. So it's the same case with what it was between Stingray and Cameroon, playing as teammates at SAF, but against each other. It's the same
against
case.
Teammate. This is going to be a corker, I'm sure.
Oh, fantastic, really, this is going to be. So, yes, of course. So, we'll talk through it. We'll talk through it about what these two players are and how well they've performed over the years. So for CJ, I saw him at a tournament, I think 3 years ago, when he was just, I think, 15. He was only 15. And he had no console to play. So this is like an inspirational story as well from for this young man, that he had no console to practice on. He had no PlayStation 4. And yet he came to that tournament where all the players were there, all the national level players, as you can call it, who've been playing since years and years. He actually ended up winning that tournament, beating everyone.
Wow.
And
wow, what an entrance that is.
That's just like a WWE entrance, isn't it, Callum?
A little bit like, yeah.
Coming out in style like that. And I think that's where he started flying. And I've got massive respect for him, only because this guy is just pure hard work and talent. Of course, he's got God-gifted talent to play FIFA, which you will see, Callum, yourself, how good he is. His achievements, of course, he's been a multiple times national champion in India, almost winning everything from the ESL India Premiership, which were basically the high-level tournaments that we're talking about. He even ended up representing India in Malaysia in a 2v2 tournament, and he ended up winning it. And
wow.
Of course, with the limited opportunities, Callum, that us Indian athletes had, because obviously no global series eligibility, right? So whatever there was to win, this man has done it, especially in his own country. And he finished third in the West Asia rankings in the global series in his first season itself. He even went on to beat MS Tosari, former world champion, in a game for E-Nations.
He beat MS Tosari. Wow. That's
yes.
MS Tosari, one of the greatest FIFA players of all time.
Absolutely, and MS Tosari himself was, I think, had massive respect for the same, and the things that CJ learned from that game was absolutely phenomenal. Unfortunately, I think he couldn't make it to the World Cup in terms of playoffs, because he didn't have a good playoffs. He lost two very important games on penalties, which was kind of heartbreaking for him, because as we know on penalties what happens, Callum, we just saw in the last game.
Well, exactly, they can go either way, can't they? And it could be heartbreak at the same time as pure joy.
Absolutely, and to be at such a high stake, I think it was a heartbreaking season for CJ after almost performing everything and winning everything in his country at least. But talking about the other guy, which is Aditya, he actually came, Aditya Chadha is his name, known by Crusher in this. Well, a fantastic name, Callum, isn't it?
Amazing, yeah.
Yeah. You see, you're playing against Crusher now, don't you? So, yeah, then you move on to basically talking about his achievements, and he finished 19th in the Global Series rankings in the West Asia region, which is the second highest an Indian finished in the Global Series rankings in the West Asia. And I think it's pretty fantastic with his achievements. He even won the ESL India Premiership winter season, and I was in fact there in the studio casting the match between these two people. These were the two finalists, and you can see why they're the number 1 and number 2. And Adi ended up stopping CJ's run of winning the 2 last premierships to basically not let him win the 3rd one, and Adi did that in style. So these guys have a lot of history playing against each other, tons and tons of tournaments at the domestic level, and obviously playing in the global series as well. They've achieved a lot of things, so that's pretty much the background that they have, and they're just growing. Like, they're very young. CJ is just 18, Adi is I think 20, 21 or 22 if I'm not wrong, so both of them got a bright future ahead.
Lovely. Well, I think they are ready now, so we can jump over to them. Let's see.
Awesome. Let's do it.
Here we go. So, we've got what I believe, you might have to talk me through this here. So, CJ is playing with an Oxford United badge of all things. That's a bit niche.
That's very niche, and he's had this badge since I think 2 years now, because he doesn't remove it. He for some reason he really loves it, and he used it in the global series as well.
We'll have to get him over to the UK at some point so he can see what Oxford's all about, because it's not a very big club, is Oxford United. I think they're sort of League 2 sort of levels. And then Russia's using he's with a Brazil flag. Interesting.
Yeah, no, it is. I mean, it's just incredible, isn't it? Because both of these players have so much of talent, and with these new jerseys and all those games, that makes it very interesting. Apart from just them just being competitive players, using different logos, using new jerseys. I even see a jersey with a shirt in it, with a tie made in it.
Oh, right, yeah, I have. You know what? I've actually got the kit. I own that shirt. Would you believe that? It's got a tie on it, and then on the back, it's got a little rucksack. It's an incredible kit. Yeah. I'll add the shirt to you one day. It's a beautiful kit.
Absolutely.
There we go. So we've got what I believe that's the Liverpool kit, isn't it, on the right hand side there? I couldn't quite see the one on the left.
I think it's the Belgium jersey for Adi, but we're seeing Adi's team right now on the screen, which is quite a basic one. I don't think so. He's played much in this time, I have to say. But man, still rocking that 89 Eusebio, which
I love him.
He loves him. And I remember in the 5 a.m. practice sessions I've had with him, like, he was a pain. He was a pain to play against, honestly, because every time this Eusebio would score. But with that being said, we're kicking off between India's number 1, CJ, versus India's number 2, according to the FIFA Global Series rankings. Adi is playing from left to right in the white kit, and then we have got CJ in his typical Liverpool kit. And I even tell you why he's kept the Liverpool kit is because he thinks it's glitched, and that's a lot of
special
pros
meaning.
believe in the same. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
Goes the same for Tex, isn't it? When Tex was using the Liverpool kit.
Oh, well, Tex is a big Liverpool fan as well, isn't he? So
he is, yes.
So it's interesting. I think straight from the off here, you can say both players are a little bit more cautious. They're not throwing as many people forwards, are they?
Oh yeah, and that's what I'm saying. When I saw the game of Stingray and Cameron, I could see instantly the difference between how the players play, at least in India. I mean, I can't generalize it for the West Asia region, and how the players play in the European scene, especially in the UK. I mean, the best player is going to have a mix of both of them, Callum. Do you agree?
Oh, definitely. Absolutely. You've got to find that right balance between attack and defence. There's a famous saying, isn't there, that good players will score you goals, great defenders will win you games.
Absolutely. Defense wins you titles, right? So
exactly. Yeah.
That's the case with FIFA players as well. Anyway, you could see some fantastic dribbling from CJ. CJ is definitely known for his left stick dribbling. With that being
good effort, great save.
Great save. Yeah. But I'm gonna let you take the mic here, Callum, and talk about basically how you feel these two players are, because you, of course, being an expert and being someone, of course, being one of the top esports orgs in the whole Europe, if not the UK. I mean, you've seen all the kind of players that is.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm sort of taking it all in as we speak. So I think it's quite clear that CJ has started probably quite dominantly. What's interesting is we look at when we're sort of scouting players, we'll look at things like the passing ability, of course, the vision that they've got, but also the technical ability they've got on the ball. And actually, I'm surprised just how good they both are technically on the ball, because it's something we see a lot in the UK scene, but in a lot of other scenes you don't see it quite as much. You see much more free-flowing football. Whereas here, I mean, actually the left stick dribbling is spot on. He's taken out wide there. He's looking for that option back. 1-0. What a goal.
What a goal that was. One of the typical football goals, which is actually nice to even concede. And you don't rage after that because it's based on the real life football, isn't it? You're cutting down from the wing and then making that pass. It's absolutely phenomenal, and which is why, Callum, I was saying that Addy is basically CJ's worst nightmare after.
He's like kryptonite, is he? Superman's kryptonite. But CJ
Absolutely.
straight on the break here. He's got Ronaldo running through. I'm not sure if I'd have cut it back there. He's obviously thought he could sell the defender on thinking he was going to have the shot. But yeah, I mean, he stood his ground beautifully there.
He did, and the good thing about CJ is the way he bounces back, like especially when you see with his player switching. I think his player switching, and he himself says this, I'm going to quote CJ here, that I've learned my player switching from Tex, watching his videos, sitting on YouTube for hours and hours, and that's how he became so good at player switching. And of course his left stick dribbling is absolutely insane. But
I mean, that's amazing. I mean, obviously, Lockie, yourself, you're a very well-known and established pro FIFA player. What would you say to anyone in India that wanted to get into FIFA esports and sort of learn to get better at FIFA?
I think the most important thing people people just give up after they lose against a pro, or if they can't learn the mechanics. I think as a pro, no matter how the game is not to your liking, you have to learn the meta. It's just how it is. So if you want to be a pro player, you first of all, of course, to have the mentality, but then you have to learn the techniques in a way that is that's offside.
That's twice now though that CJ, he's burst through, isn't he? He's played the through ball, a little bit like a sting ball in some ways that we saw in the previous game, but he's made that run through with Ronaldo. But every time he seems to be looking for that cut back and almost an easy pass into the back of the net. Hasn't happened for him yet.
It hasn't, honestly. He's just been trying, which is why I say that Addy is CJ's nightmare in a lot of matches, although they're teammates and they're very friendly with each other. But when you see in game, I think Addy has that kind of an edge over CJ sometimes when Addy is at the top of his gameplay. I mean, CJ gets a bit rattled, and we can see that right now.
Am I right in saying as well, you're quite close to CJ, aren't you?
Oh yeah, I am. I mean, I always keep him as my little brother because we're, like you can say, we practice together, and especially during the season, me, Addy, CJ, and all the other pros that are there, we practice together for hours and hours together. It's a very close-knit, nice community of players that we have, and we always learn from each other.
Oh, that's lovely. That is lovely. But what you're saying is really then, if CJ wins, then you can take the credit for this. And if he loses, then it's just how well Addy played.
Because it's fantastic to see. You see CJ dominating so many players, right? And even Addy, in a lot of cases, when he's dominated him, he's won matches with like 5-6 goals of difference. But when Addy is at the top of his gameplay, I think he's the toughest opponent that CJ has to face, especially from what I've seen in the ESL India Premierships as well and other matches. I mean, it's incredible how Addy reads CJ's game. It's fantastic.
It's like he's in his head again, isn't it? It's like he's in the head. He's almost reading what's happening before it even happens. And personally, I actually think that's half the battle within FIFA. A lot of people just think it's about the technical skill and ability you've got, but actually if you can understand what the opponent is going to do, you can nullify what they're going to do, you can get an advantage over your opponents, and it in some ways it's just reading the game and what's going to happen next, and that can be 50% of the game.
Oh yeah, for sure. And this is going back to the question that you asked me. What a fantastic pass that is.
I love the way Hullet just came along, shrugged him off like he wasn't there. That's the final chance of the half. We go in at 1-0. I mean, it's been a tight game, isn't it? Neither player really wanting to concede possession.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's a totally different game from what we saw in the last game between Cameroon and Stingray. They were going all out for it, and compared to those two, these guys are a bit conservative, but they're taking their chances.
Yeah, interesting to see they're making some changes here.
Yeah, of course, KDB is dearly loved, like the dearly beloved player of CJ. All the time you see KDB in his team. Even last year he had KDB and Bullet.
Are those his favourite players, or is it just what he likes to play with, do you think?
It's his, I mean, it's one of his favourite players in real life as well. I mean, he's a massive KDB fan, and then obviously.
It's interesting because you don't see many players playing with Kevin De Bruyne. You see a lot of sort of Firminos at the moment, don't you? The 99 Firmino.
Well,
but straight away.
This is what we talk about, that fantastic directional though. Did you see the angle and the way he just ran away with that Neymar? I think that was the key to basically this move being created. What a fantastic goal.
Amazing. Amazing. Came straight out the blocks.
And just to go back to, what do you need to be a pro player? I think it's the mentality. Like you said, half the battle is won. A lot of people just lose a couple of games and they're like, no, I don't think so. I can do this. I'm done. People start raging. But what people don't see on the outside is, it's very cool to be a FIFA pro. But what they don't see is the mental, the pain that we have to go through in terms of a lot of things.
CJ's really turning it on now, isn't he? I don't know. Has he changed something with his tactics, do you think, at half time?
He did. You saw it. I think he probably a formation change, probably a couple of tactics, and he's straight away on the attack. This is what I'm saying. This is what makes CJ so good than the others. Myself learned so many things, and I'm not afraid to admit it everywhere that people ask me, why do you keep saying he's so good? That's the reason why. You see the dribbling.
I mean, we've had 11 minutes of this half. 11 minutes. And he scored 3 goals. I mean, that is some comeback. 1-0 down at half-time, 56 minutes in, and he's winning 3-1. That's why he's India's best.
He is, and he is one of the best in the West Asia region as well. I mean, like we spoke about, he beat a former world champion MS Tosari. That's for a reason. And in fact, the scoreline was 4-1, and that's something that every Indian should brag about because it's a huge achievement, obviously, coming into the season, first competitive season, and you perform so well. Incredible. Wow.
I mean, he's stuffing out every single attack. He seems to be everywhere, doesn't he? It's like, he is. I think, if I'm right in saying, I think he's pressing after possession loss, which is a move that you can use in FIFA, whereas when you lose the ball, your team will then press for a certain amount of time. It does tire your players long term, but it's very effective at getting the ball back. You can see him pressing with more than one player as well at a time.
Absolutely, and this is like a broken mechanic, and all the FIFA players would understand when I say this, how broken it is to basically press, and the whole team presses for you and wins the ball. You look at those slide tackles as well. This is one good thing about CJ. He goes all in. He's so aggressive with his defensive style. He's like, if I make a mistake, that's fine if I concede, but I will go 100% in it.
Yeah.
That's how he is.
All or nothing. All or nothing.
Absolutely.
This is the longest we've been in the second half without a goal now. What an amazing first 10 minutes.
It's been crazy. And you see the shift of mentality, like how Adi was dominating the game, and then CJ, first of all, doesn't like when he's not playing well. He gets pissed with himself, and that's when he plays best.
That lovely cut back. That was superb, but the defender's gone with him, just about managed to get a foot in. Somehow, that was a goal kick. Wow.
Probably should have gone near post, I think, Callum, in that case. After that reverse elastico, he knew the defender was going to come and block him there.
Definitely.
Just like he did with his last goal.
Perhaps he's just trying to mix things up. He thought it might be a bit predictable if he does it twice in a row. But these things, they happen in such a split second for you to try and make a decision. A lot of it is done on instinct, isn't it?
It indeed is. I mean, when you see the likes of so many good players, when you have it in your team, and you just have to make a quick decision because you know that your Ronaldo doesn't have that equally strong foot on his left, so you have to make a decision to bring it on his right.
He's cut back again with Ronaldo. That's the third time he's done it in the game, isn't he? Where he's cut back, Ali's read it, he's defended well, and it's almost a waste of a goal-scoring opportunity.
Yeah, that was a clear-cut goal. But with that being said, I think you sometimes end up overthinking so much that only a third person can see this. You might agree, Callum, a lot of pro players, despite knowing what they had to do when they watched the replay, they didn't do it in real time.
Oh, 100%. And that's one of the reasons why, to become a pro player, you've almost got to understand where you're going wrong so you can improve for the future. It's why after most competitive games, pro players will sit there They'll go through their replays. They'll watch goal by goal to say, well, look, what happened? What did I do wrong there when you're defending? And when I was attacking, what did I do right? How come I got a goal from this? Oh!
Absolutely. Oh my goodness. If that would have been a goal, wow.
I don't even know how he did that to cross it. Oh, wow. That was amazing.
Imagine doing that against a player that you know is one of your toughest competitors by far this season.
Confidence. Just the confidence to do it in a game like this is amazing.
It's incredible. And I say this, I'm no expert at FIFA, obviously, at the highest level, but being a pro player myself, being, having a lot of knowledge about the game, I can say this guy is definitely a future world champion. And I don't say this for everyone else. Even myself, I never said this because I know what difference CJ brings to not just the Indian FIFA scene, to like the whole FIFA scene, in fact, because the way he just shifts things and plays so well.
What's a ball to Hullet? I mean, I didn't even see the Hullet run. I'm just spectating, and he's just found Hullet. He's dinked the ball over the top. The keeper's made a great save. What could have been 4-1. We've only got a couple of minutes here. I can't see a comeback at this late stage.
No, a comeback is out of the question now. It's very difficult. You see the player lock also coming in now. See those confident moves from CJ. I think the best part would be to play CJ with a SAF player as well sometime soon and see how that game is, to be honest.
Oh, it's a late penalty though. Late penalty, yellow card. Bit of a consolation goal because I can't imagine we'll see another opportunity after this. CJ playing the mind games in goal. Oh, straight down the middle, cool as you like.
That was a fantastic thing. Fantastic goal, actually. And with that being said, I don't think so it's going to be enough time for Adi to make a comeback. That was a very good game, though. 3-2 to CJ. How he changed the game after the first half finished. In literally 11 minutes in game, he switched up and scored 3 goals. Callum, what do you have to say about those few moments, actually?
I mean, it was incredible. But you look at the stats there. He's had 2 shots on target and 2 goals.
Yeah.
That's efficiency, isn't it? That's efficiency. Every time he's had an opportunity, he's put it in the back of the net. But you know what? I think 3-2 probably just about right. I think CJ probably had the upper hand. He wasn't great in the first half. And I think he'll be the first to admit that. He wasn't great in the first half. But he's come back out in that second half. He's performed well. He's got 3 early goals, and at that point, he's put the game to bed, and he's almost relaxed back into the game. And you can then see some of the tricks and the moves that he's then bringing out. It's almost like party time at that point. He's 3-1 up. He knows he's got this in the bag. Late consolation goal with a penalty, but overall, I think CJ probably just about did enough.
Yeah, absolutely. I think with those stats, it should have been more goals because Adi couldn't actually get a lot of shots in, if you have to see, apart from the one chance and the one penalty that he got. With how CJ changed the game, I think he was the only one controlling. So this could have been 4-2, 5-2. If the Hullet chance went in, this could have been 4-2 as well.
Definitely. Well, I think we now have both players joining us for the post-match. After that, we've then got a 5-on-5 Pro Club special. What can you tell us about that?
Wow, that seems absolutely fantastic because we have Team CJ, and Team CJ is obviously CJ captaining them with with at least 3 pro players in that team that play FIFA professionally. And we have DJ Shaan, who's got a team of his own, and DJ Shaan being one of the most populous DJs in India. I think it's fantastic to see how the difference between a casual player, I think that's something that attracts people, Callum, don't you think?
Oh, definitely. I think DJ Shaan was in for the shock of a lifetime. Do you know, is he a good FIFA player, do you know?
I mean, from what I saw his game, he was decent. He was basically playing with Man United, if I'm not wrong, when I saw his game. And yeah, I think he's going to be absolutely thrilled to play against someone like CJ and all these pro players because he'd be like, how do you do this? I want to learn.
Teach me. Yeah. Lovely. Well, let's go back to the homepage, and I'm going to bring the 2 of them in now.
Awesome.
I was going to. Have they disappeared? No, they haven't. Here they come. They're both joining now.
All right.
It'll be interesting to see them break down and get their thoughts on how they played.
I mean, I've done this before so many times with these 2, especially with the ESL thing. I mean, it was fantastic, really, talking to these guys as always.
Yeah. Can you hear us, guys?
Yes, hello.
Yes, hello.
Am I
Lovely.
audible?
How are you both? You well?
Yes,
we're fine.
Great. Do you guys want to introduce yourself to the stream?
Yes. Yeah,
for sure.
TJ, you can go first.
Yeah, so like I'm a professional FIFA player who's currently representing Connectin Esports in the FIFA Global Series, and I'm 18 years old, and I just finished my exams. I got my results yesterday only.
How did you do?
Considering I didn't give any exam at all, I did pretty well. I got 95%.
Oh, that's not bad then. That's not. So you're good at FIFA and you're intelligent. Is there anything you can't do? Lovely. So look, if we start with yourself, CJ, how did you feel that game went?
From the start, I think you guys could also make out. We were both rusty, Adi and me including. Both of us knew like we have stayed away from our controllers for a long time. That showed us in our game. But as the game progressed in the second half, both of us came out good and did pretty well, I feel.
Yeah, definitely.
Fantastic.
Lockie, I'm going to hand over to you now, my man.
I think I've done this with CJ so many times, CJ, haven't I? And now that we are national teammates also, and Callum was asking how close are you to CJ? I'm like, very close, and this is the guy that I think is going to make it to the E-World Cup one day. CJ, tell me something. What are your plans for the next season? What can you tell us about that?
Plans, like mainly if the global series will still be there, then to reach the World Cup. The World Cup got cancelled this year. It was a very sad news for all of us FIFA fans and FIFA enthusiasts. But hopefully, if the World Cup is there, my aim is to reach there and represent my team with you, Sid, Vicky, and E-Nations. Get our team to the global stage, and win every possible tournament I can here in India as well.
Fantastic. There's one more question, CJ, that I'd like to ask you, and I think Callum would love to hear this. What makes you different from the others? What makes you that special player in India, and being in such a competitive country where we all have played since all these years? What makes you special?
One thing I'll say is my ability to adapt to games, be it like versus someone, one guy plays like a defensive formation. I know how to adapt well. I know how to adapt well to a connection disadvantage or advantage, like a 5-bar game, 1-bar. I think that makes me, just gives me a slight edge over others, I'll say.
Brilliant. I think that's me done with CJ's question. I can sit with him all day and...
Well, the two of you go so far back, you probably know everything there is to know about each other, don't you? So that's amazing. So, I mean, CJ, am I right in saying you also represent the national Indian esports team?
Yes, you're right.
Lovely. And I've been told there was a famous win recently involving a game against Malaysia. Well,
Malaysia, yeah.
Recently, but
It was a while back, but it was recent, and all of us, including me and my teammates, won our respective matches versus Malaysia. It was a E-friendly, and I think India, we come as an underdog, but I think we are not an underdog at all. If we get the right chance and the right platform, we could do wonderful things in the global series.
Definitely. Well, I think from an outside perspective, so over here in the UK, we sort of, up until recently, I didn't know a lot about the Indian esports scene. Because I think, if I'm right in saying, you've only been able to compete for about 2 years within EA.
Yeah, just one. Not even 2 years, I think. Just 1 year, which
1 year. Wow.
Yeah.
And so from that perspective, from an esports perspective, we would never have even looked at India because of these restrictions. But now that we can, where do you see Indian esports going in the future?
I think only in one direction, which is upwards. I feel from now on. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Love the confidence on this guy.
It is, yeah, definitely. He's so calm and composed. Amazing. Right, let's bring your opponent in. How are you doing, my man?
Hey guys, I'm good. How are you all?
Yeah, good. You know what? We've seen some brilliant FIFA today. Well played. How did you think the game went?
So basically, I don't think I've played FIFA seriously since like the season ended. Basically, it's been 2 months since we've played seriously. And like the first half was kind of a midfield brawl that was going on, tackles everywhere, and like it was evident that but like by the second half we settled in, showed a bit of our skills, but been a bit rusty. Got to polish up for next season.
Well, yeah, I mean you took an early lead, You took an early
yeah,
lead, and we were a little bit surprised. I wouldn't say it went against the other play, because I think the first half you were probably the slightly better player. Talk us through the goal.
So the first goal I think was the Firmino goal, right? The goal that I scored.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just ran down the wing and just X-passed it to my striker. So the thing is, basically, this isn't my actual team as well. There's this Prem Weekend League challenge going on.
Right.
I wasn't even aware I was playing like till morning. So I built this team like 2 days ago. So like all of these players I'm not used to at all, and they were like, pretty weird to me, like initially. So that's why I was just running down the wing and just Xing it and YOLOing it.
So
basically,
you had a brand new team, and you still took the lead against the #1 player in India. The man has got skills. Lockie, I'm going to hand over to you, my man.
Absolutely. Now, I think even with Adi's case, I've done this a lot of times, even in the ESL India Premiership, and this is something I was talking to Callum about, that you were the only player who could stop CJ from winning the Premiership 3 times. 2 times he'd already done it. How did you get that motivation? What made you basically win that match? How did you break down CJ's game? Because honestly, none of us have been able to do that in the last 2 years.
I mean, I think it was more ward reviews and practice. You know, I used to play friendlies at like 5-6 a.m. We used to play friendly qualifiers and ESL tournaments. Like, it was basically grinding. That's all. I've just come to the scene recently. Just joined last year. Like FIFA20 ending is when I started playing professionally. So I'm kind of new to the scene, just growing and ambitious, you guys could say.
Fantastic. And one more thing to like add to that, Adi, is when you beat CJ, you made a statement, and it's not just about CJ being the #1 player in India. It's about how you came to the scene with all the other pros in the scene already, and how you came up suddenly. I remember playing a match against you offline before the pandemic happened. It was a very close game, and that's when you asked me, is there a competitive FIFA scene in India? And you asked me that, and I started telling you, okay, this, and now look at you sitting second in the rankings. So from being that person who was asking if there's a scene in India to basically in 1 year being the second highest in the global series, how did you do it? Honestly, it's fantastic. No other person has done it so soon.
Sorry. Am I audible? I just
Yes.
got a call and I think the voice got cut.
Yes, you are. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So basically, like I was interested in FIFA like since a child, but like I hadn't explored it competitively. I was good at it. Like I think basically everybody starts off like that, playing with friends, chilling. I was good at it. Then in my college days in Delhi, I saw there were some LAN events going on there. That's where I met you. Then I looked up like your Facebook page and your socials and stuff, and then I kind of found out that there is a scene in India competitively. And then from then on, it was just like passion, grinding, and playing the game daily and day in, day out. And like that's how like helped me reach where I am today. That's what helped me reach where I am today.
Fantastic, isn't it? Callum, it's not a good thing to hear when you hear younger guys coming up and say, we looked up your social, you're a current pro, and now we'll be
He's overtaking you.
That's fantastic, really, how these young players are like beating the old pros now.
Oh, they're showing you how it's done now, Lockie, aren't they? They're showing you how it's done.
They are. I try my best to keep them at bay for some time, but then of course they be young, take it away. But I think that's me done with my questions for Adi. Fantastic.
Well, before I let you guys get ready for the next game, because we've got a 5-on-5 Pro Clubs game coming up, haven't we, boys? Before I let you go, I asked this to my UK esports players today, but we're going to ask you the same question. For young players that are trying to get into esports, and in particular within India, if you could give them one tip, what would it be?
I would say, from where I learned FIFA basically was watching videos, and like you need to play people who are better than you to improve. That's what I would like say.
Absolutely.
Like initially, of course, you would lose to them and maybe get demolished, but like playing them again and again and again is what will help you.
I think that's important, because if you play the same level of player over and over, you don't progress, do you? You have to play the best of the best to get better. Yeah, so I completely agree. And CJ, I'm going to put that question over to you as well, my man. What would be your one tip?
one tip I'll give is just trust yourself and then trust in the process. It's not like you'll become tech or Dasari day one. It will take time. You have to like put on short steps, towards the final step, and keep grinding and always play the player who's better than you, as Chadda said. I started playing with Loki. I used to DM him like 100 times during the FIFA 18 days, and he used to ignore me. Callum, he used to ignore me.
Oh my
I'll make a
goodness.
note of that. You weren't good enough back then. Now you're too good. He's saying slow down. He's trying to message you, isn't he?
Life comes back at you hard. Doesn't it?
Lovely. All right, guys. Look, we're going to leave you to get ready for your five-a-side Pro Clubs game. We'll be with you in a couple of minutes. Until then, Lockie, I'm going to let you introduce our next guests.
Awesome. All right. So all right, guys. Thank you so much, by the way, for joining. It was a
We'll
pleasure.
speak to you in a minute again, I'm sure.
All right. Okay. So talking about our next guest, of course, we're just going to quickly look at this and talk about all the players. So we have Team CJ to start with, because since we were having a conversation with CJ, and let me start off with the captain that you guys heard live, the man himself. Then we've got a very interesting person who, of course, is Aditya as well. Sorry, I'm just going to take it in that flow. We've got Aditya obviously playing with CJ. So that makes it 4 pros in this team.
It's a good team. Hell of a Pro Clubs team, isn't it?
Hell of a Pro Clubs team. And we've got Adi Chadda and CJ that we've just seen playing. We've got Saksham, and Saksham is one of the pros that he's of my age. He's one of the old veterans, you can say, of the domestic FIFA scene in India, who's been competing since like 5, 6, 10 years even now for him. And he's playing for Footballers, by the way, Callum, which is a very big organization.
Yeah, massive organization. Great organization as well. Yeah.
Right. And he's been a top quality player. He was 20th in the West Global Series, right behind Adi. And then we've got Sagnik, who's a player who's really young, and he's got multiple 30 finishes in the weekend league and has performed domestically well at the national level. So that's a bit background about these guys. But the man himself is Dhruv Khanna, who's the founder and CEO of Connectin Esports. Now, Connectin is the organization that CJ represents, even Adi represents, and they've possibly got these 2 number 2 players, and which is why they've got the best FIFA team in the country. So he's the man who started the Pro League India as well. So a massive shout out to him for doing that, which is fantastic, really. So he's quite an oldie. He doesn't play, and I'll say oldie because so that he hear me, because I love pointing that out to him. But yeah, fantastic, really. So the boss and basically his players, and then we've got a Footballers guy, and then we've got a very promising player. So that was Team CJ. Long introduction, but I think it was worth it. And I'm moving on to Team Shaan now. Now, Team Shaan is DJ Shaan, and we all know who DJ Shaan is, one of the most exciting and upcoming DJs. I won't even say upcoming, already so popular, and he's just growing at an enormous scale. He's been at that level. I think he's the first Indian, from what I read, to play at Tomorrowland, which is for all music fans.
That's an amazing festival. I've been just the once, and it was incredible. What an experience! What
an experience. So you can see he's, when I say upcoming, of course, in the global industry, he's at the top in India. Moving on to it is Nikhil. Now, Nikhil Pandey has known Nico in the scene, and I think this for all the boys watching the stream, and he is one of India's best pro club players. He does not play FUT. He started playing this year itself, but he's been playing pro clubs in the VPG. He's been playing all sorts of leagues that you can say for pro clubs. Callum, I think you're well versed with pro clubs in that case. So he has played for some of the best teams as well. So they've got a big asset. We've got Rishi, who's an avid FIFA gamer. You can say he's still learning a lot of things. Really, really nice guy. We've got Aman. I haven't personally met Aman, but seems like a very good pro player, to be honest. And then we've got the man himself, Selvin. This is Callum. You might find interesting. This guy is a record holder in a lot of different things. He's got the record of having the most number of tattoos on his body.
Wow!
Isn't that crazy? So his handle is the Tattooed Indian, and he's an artist of a crazy sort. He's featured on MTV. He creates art. He creates music, which is fantastic to see. And he's a former competitive player, you can say, back in the days when he was playing FIFA himself, and then he moved on to better things in his own aspect. So yeah, that's quite a detailed introduction I think I've given you for both the players, and it probably gave them.
I'm going to look him up in just a minute.
For sure. He's got a decent following as well on his Instagram handles as well. He's growing at a rapid rate. So yeah, I think this probably gives these guys some time to set up as well. Probably they might be thanking me after this stream for talking so much. Well,
pro clubs can just take a little while longer to set up. I'll see how they're getting on at the moment. I can just see them in the background here. They're just tweaking a couple of bits at the moment, but I'm sure they'll be ready in just a moment.
Absolutely. I think it's fantastic to see with these players. I mean, this is the big match that we're talking about. And I think that was my message to CJ saying hi. I probably didn't even reply. Oh, well, the stream can't see it. I can, Callum.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I just noticed it. Wow, lovely. Yeah. So, but yeah, that's the pro club scene in India is really increasing, to be fair. I haven't been a part of it at all. It's just that
you play for glory, don't you, Lockie? You play for glory for yourself.
No, I mean that's one thing. But being a former footballer myself, I thought pro clubs could be fun, but it is sometimes fun. But you know how competitive it gets, doesn't it?
Oh, it certainly can. You can make best friends, and you can lose a lot of friends as well playing.
Oh yes, absolutely. So in that case, when I feel it's like it's better to not sweat it out in two different modes, and have have some patience, have some peace as well in my life. Not the word patience. Two modes again.
So I can just see the players are just getting ready. They're now joining the game. We've still probably got a minute or two yet before the game's going to kick off. But what do you think we're going to see in this game then, Lockie? Talk me through it.
I think it's going to be fantastic because you see a mix of a couple of players. Like when I mentioned Rishi, he's very good in terms of playing, even Aman as well, as a matter of fact. So all the players in Shaan's team as well, all of them are not, you can say, casuals who just play once a while. They are actually grinding the game every day. And on the other side, well, it's got a full pro team. But when I say this, and you'll agree, in pro clubs, you don't have to have that much of a skill gap. It's all about team coordination. It's all about enjoying yourself, isn't it?
Oh, definitely. I mean, quite often, myself and a few of my... So I stream as well as manage an esports team, and myself and my mods, after a stream on Ultimate Team, will sometimes take ourselves onto pro clubs. And if we play well, it's one of the greatest experiences ever. When we don't play well, we don't talk to each other for a few days.
Well, you can put it exactly like this way, because this is what I hear from all my friends here who playing pro clubs all the time. Even this guy Selvin, who I mentioned, the tattooed Indian, basically, he keeps telling me that you can make the best of friends, and you can even have people who would actually unfollow you on your socials if you score a goal on them. So.
Oh, that's brilliant. Well, I think the brilliant thing is, after this, Lockie, every single Pro Clubs player is going to be joining us on the Zoom. So
wow, that's
we're going to have plenty to talk about after this game. Hopefully, they won't have fallen out by then. I've just seen they're just setting up their tactics now. So it looks to me like their CJ's team is starting with possibly a 4-3-3. Interesting. Oh, no, he's just changed it again. I say that. I was going 4-3-3. He's now changed to a 4-3-1-2, which is quite a popular formation.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, these guys are playing, and it is like a narrow formation is the most fun formation to use with those fullbacks running up and down for you, right?
Oh,
if you're playing 11v11 format, but in this case, of course, they'll all be enjoying in the middle of the park, making those one-touch passes and scoring those goals. I think it's going to be fantastic.
Oh, it's going to be great. Well, what's really interesting, so I'm going to take us over to the match now, but what's really interesting is I don't think anyone is playing in any position. Which is surprising.
Which is surprising, yeah. I think they should be, because how many people do I see here right now? I think they're missing one player, right?
Are they missing one? Let's have a look. Let's take you over to the game, and you guys can see. Here we go. So this is the game. This is how they're lining up on Team CJ. We've got a 4-3-1-2. We've got CJ playing at cam, so the star man in the middle. He's going to be pulling the strings. Talk me through the rest of the lineup here, Lockie.
I think from what I see, it's just there's one player missing. Is he even here? Because we have to have 5 guys, right?
Looks like they might be going in with a man down. Who knows?
No, I think they're probably inviting someone, maybe some connectivity. As we all know, like how online works, you have to have a lot of patience with these technical glitches and time taken to setting up.
Oh, definitely. Well, in effect, we're bringing 10 different players from around India all together, and it takes a little bit of a little bit of jiggling and coordinating to make it happen. Until we're ready, I'm going to bring you back to myself and Lockie.
Yeah.
We've done our hair specially, so you may as well focus on us.
Now, I was actually checking the lineup and seeing who's missing. Looking down on my phone just to check the lineup and who's missing. Trying to find that person, come back here and say,
they'll be getting it in the ear, won't they? Where are you? Where are you?
Absolutely.
Oh, dear. Well, it's interesting. I mean, hang on. I think we've got the 5th player is now joined. So I think it wasn't on us for long, was it? They didn't take long to get him in. So I think we're pretty much ready to go, unless Team 2's having some problems. So let's jump back into the action.
Awesome. Let's go.
We'll jump back into the action. So we've now got our Rennie, who is, what's his name? Is that Skull-Shaku? Who's that?
No, it's Scholes-esque.
Scholes-esque. I mean, Scholes was a hell of a player in his day, wasn't he?
Oh yeah, so that's Dhruv, basically the founder of Connect in Esports. He's the man behind Connect in. He's the guy who's playing any, which is nice to see, because I'll tell you why. None of the pros are playing any. So as a player yourself, you can understand why they're not doing that, knowing that they have to create a mix of the game. You know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't have to
be
be
the competitive element in the best spirit of the game, aren't they? Which is amazing.
Yeah, which is a fantastic.
See, the first way I thought, well, Connecting, the boss is playing. He's played himself at any, isn't he? It's like when the manager plays his son.
I think that's the best way to put it out there. It's like nobody's taking any, otherwise I'm taking this team out. We're not playing.
No, we're not quite there yet. I can only presume we're just waiting on the second team. Maybe they're just trying to get some players in. Let's see if I can get a quick update.
Absolutely. But with that being said, though, I think the amount of versatility that we have in terms of both the teams, it's incredible, really, because we've got some pro players who have got different play styles when it comes to pro clubs, and we've got players who play for fun. Like, of course, DJ Shaan is like, it's pretty decent, I have to say, when I saw his game, but his pro clubs game I haven't seen ever. So I think it's going to be fantastic with the variety and the versatility that these people have when it comes to playing FIFA. It's honestly amazing.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I think we've probably got a couple of more minutes until we get to that stage. So we're going to bring on our next guest, who's from a very special Indian football team. Lockie, can you tell me more?
Oh, lovely. Okay, so in that case,
so I believe it's the guys from, is it Odisha? Have I said that right?
Yes, I think you have said that right. So we'll just have a quick have a timeout with the guys with Odisha FC and what they have to say. Odisha being one of the top clubs in the Indian Super League, and we have some players talking about the event, about Magic Bus, and what the good cause is all about. So
it's an amazing cause. It really is lovely. We're going to send you over to those guys now. Enjoy.
Hi everyone, this is Time Out with the Stars, a section where we're going to get up close and personal with individuals who are unique and special in their own fields, but are even more special because they've taken time out of their busy schedules to show their support and do their bit to help those children most affected by the pandemic get back to school so that they go through their complete education and then get into the formal job sector. So without further ado, I'm going to invite two very special guests. One is the backbone of his team and the other is at the center of all the action on the field. Please join me in welcoming Arshdeep Singh and Vineet Rai from Odisha FC. Hi!
Hello.
Hi, welcome guys. So good to have you here. So do you enjoy, did you enjoy this online FIFA playing as much as you do the actual real football, or do you prefer the actual real?
Yes, we do connect the dots when we play FIFA.
Yeah.
So when we play FIFA, we picturize the real moments when we're playing in the game. So we look at the players, look at the moments. So we play according to that. So it's good. We enjoy a
And
lot
it
to
was-
play FIFA.
It was good last year because we don't used to play singles, we used to play doubles. So it was more kind of reality, you know, like me and our partner and some other two guys are partner, and we used to say like, go there, pass me, show me space, I will pass you, cross the ball or shoot it. We used to say like this, like it's kind of like more of a communication which you do really on the pitch, you know, kind of like real. So it was quite helpful, and it's gonna starve your brain more. But yeah, if you play too much FIFA, if you don't take rest properly, those things you cannot apply on the pitch.
Oh, thank you for saying that. I'll make sure that I tell our kids that as well, because every time, you know, earlier I had so many problems with too much screen time. But then sometimes when I listen to them playing, I realize that they're learning a lot as well, you know, especially with the tactics and the skill. And suddenly our 10-year-old, I could hear him even negotiating for players and buying and selling and all. So I realized there's actually a lot of skills and a lot of things they're learning even through playing online, but they have to rest and save their energy to also play the real thing on the field. So here's something fun now. I'm going to ask both of you 5 questions, and just say whatever comes to mind, no thinking. So this is like a little rapid fire round. So feel free, whoever wants to answer first, just go for it. So what genre of music do you like listening to the most?
Live music.
Live music. Okay, so maybe that also translates into live football over online football. live music. And Vinny?
For me, ma'am, love music.
Love music. Romantic music.
Romantic.
So I'm not supposed to ask you about your romance on this, but romantic music. Okay, that's great. And what's your routine before a match to help you prepare for it?
For me, ma'am, it's normally as a midfielder, you know, as an outfield player, we have to run a lot on the pitch. So I drink plenty of water, and I visualize myself putting myself on the pitch and with the real jersey which we'll put on the match. So I visualize each and every action with the ball, without the ball, and then before leaving, I just pray to God. And in the dressing room, before leaving for the match, I pray to God for the blessing, so that I can do well, so that I can help my team to do well in the match.
Wow, that's amazing. And what about you, Harsh?
That's exactly how it is, ma'am. We rest very well. We drink a lot of water. We make sure we take a good amount of food, and we visualize everything before the game. That's how I do the same thing. Visualize everything, put myself in the game before the game. So that's how I like to stay quiet before the game. Some people, they like to, they're very hyper before the game. I like to stay quiet. I don't talk to many people before the game. So
wow. So who was the best player in the last season of the ISL?
You mean from Odisha FC or in the whole ISL?
The whole ISL.
I think Hugo Bomus was the best player, because he played for Mumbai City FC. Now he joined Kolkata.
Okay. And what about you, Ash?
For me, it's Cole Alexander. He was in our team. He was playing alongside with Vinith.
Okay.
So I think he's a beast. I loved him the most. For me.
Great. And who's the most serious and straight-faced player from the Odisha FC squad?
Vinith will tell. I think Paul. For me, Paul. He's very quiet. He's very serious always.
Both of you have that answer, right? Yeah, Vinny?
For me, I think Diego Mauricio. He used to sit very seriously, and he used to motivate us in the dressing room. He used to say, "Come on, guys." So he was quite energetic in the dressing room.
Okay, great. So this question is to you, Vinny. If Arsh was not a goalkeeper, what position would he be best suited for, and why?
I would have played him in striker.
Say that again?
I would have played him in the striker. because he's very good with the feet. You know, nowadays in modern football, for goalkeepers you have to be good with your hand, but equally you have to be good with your feet also, because nowadays it's all about playing with the ball from back to defense to attack, and if you cannot go forward, you have to pass back, and your goalkeeper has to be also very good from the feet. And I think Harsha's got really good technique, you know, to play from the back to support us with the position. So I think if he wouldn't have been a goalkeeper, I'd have played striker, and I would have make him do a little bit more things so that he can grow strong. You know, and technical thing, he's already good. Only the physical aspect, I would have trained him so much.
Okay. Is it stressful being a goalkeeper? Do you think it's more stressful than other positions?
Yes, ma'am. I think for a goalkeeper, we have a lot of responsibility, because if a striker would make a mistake, there's midfield behind him.
Yeah.
If midfield make mistakes, there's defense behind him. If defender make mistake, there's a goalkeeper behind him. But if a goalkeeper makes mistake, there's no, like, there's just the net behind it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There will be God behind it. God
That's very nice.
If the guy, if the guy miss and miss.
Very stressful.
For a goalkeeper, we can't afford to make mistakes. So if a goalkeeper make mistakes, if he makes 100 saves and he commit a mistake and he concede a bad goal, so the goalkeeper is always blamed.
So finally, what's your message to all your fans watching you today?
It's just, man, like I think Magic Bus has taken a great initiative, you know, to raise the fund for the children to get back to school and to get through all these pandemic times and the tough times, you know, those who are suffering from so many loss. So I think me and us are so grateful, you know, and so thankful for you guys to invite us to have a chat and do our bit to raise the fund, you know, and whatever we can do, we will do in future also to raise to help the children, you know. So I think it's a great initiative once again, and we are so thankful to be part of this.
That's so lovely, and you know, I think Arsh, would you like to say something before we close?
Absolutely, ma'am. I think it's a great initiative, and like we can help. We are able to help somebody, and everybody should help. Even, you know, people are suffering a lot in this pandemic. So I would like to request everybody, if you are able to help somebody, please do help, because children, people, you know, they're suffering a lot. So please help and do your bit.
Absolutely, absolutely. So please, everyone, as you guys know, this is a very, very special fundraising event for the amazing Magic Bus, where they're working towards getting 1 million children back to school. So please do click on the link below to donate and help in whatever way. Please share. You know, as a mom of school-going children, really, I feel, of course, all of us, everyone, all our kids staying fine and safe forever, touch wood, is most important. But right after that, I would say schools opening and education comes right after that. You know, it's been 16 months, all our kids have been at home, and the vast majority haven't even had online access. Our kids still have online. They've been learning, they've been playing FIFA and all that, but there's so many kids who've had nothing. So we really, really hope that schools are able to physically open soon, and that we can raise funds to get the kids who really, really do need to get back into school.
Welcome back, everyone, to the stream, the Resilience Esports FIFA 21 Invitational launch party, and we're just having a look at. We're talking about Sharma, of course, talking to the Odisha players and talking about this great cause. Now I'm going to give it over to Callum once again to
Hello again, guys.
basically...
For those of you in the chat asking if we're live right now, yes, we are live. Hello, how are you? Nice to see you. I hope you're well. You've got myself and Lockie here. What we're now going to do, we're going to bring in, we've got a 5-on-5 special Pro Clubs game going on, but we're going to bring the guys into the chat so you can hear them as they play as well. A little bit different, rather than just having myself and Lockie talking about it. So
that is fantastic. I can't wait for this.
Oh, let's welcome them all in. Here they come. Might take a little while just to connect them all. Hopefully the internet holds.
Brilliant. Now I can see some people. I can see Saksham. Not so sure about.
Yeah, I believe CJ's coming back again as well, isn't he?
I think he should. Yeah, I could see Dhruv also. Okay, there we go.
Lovely. How are we doing, guys? Can you hear us?
Yep.
One person. Great. We're off to a great start. There we go.
Let's go. There you go.
What more do you need? Guys, how close now are we to being able to play the 5-on-5 Pro Clubs? Give us a status update.
We're ready from here.
Perfect. Let's get going. So what we've done on the stream now to set you guys up, we're going to be able to hear you guys all talking to each other. So it could get a little bit confusing because we've got both teams in one chat here.
Okay.
It's going to be interesting. Let's see how it goes, all right? But yeah, we're going to hand over straight to the game. Everyone's going to be able to hear you. I wish you all the best of luck. Please do celebrate when you score, all right?
Yeah.
We can go wild.
Awesome.
So
Do we have-
it's kickoff time almost. So.
Yeah. So I've taken out my Zoom headphone though.
Yeah, no worries. But they can hear us apparently.
Yeah, everyone can hear you, I'm afraid. They can't see you, if that helps. They'll be able to see at the end. We can talk about what's happening in the game. Who's feeling confident in this one? No one. Okay.
Oi, Saki, I'm coming for you, bro.
Yeah. That's fighting talk. It's fighting talk. So who's sending the invite to the other team?
Shaan, are you here? Okay. Yeah.
Why are these people communicating in sign languages?
Okay.
It's because they know we can't see them. Or the stream can't see them, so they're hiding away.
Okay. Awesome. So
You guys sending them? CJ, Saki?
There's silence from CJ. He's in the zone, isn't he? He's just ready to go. Maybe you might have to invite CJ. I don't know.
So who's inviting who in this case?
Who's inviting? Oh, okay. Dhruv has just asked me for the club name.
Ah, there we go. We're getting there.
Yeah, I've sent it to Dhruv. Let's go.
You can already see the tattoos on this guy, Callum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The most
Gonna have to
tattoos
keep
in
it clean,
India.
boys. Gonna have to keep it clean.
You have to keep it clean.
I'll try my level best, boys.
I mean, that's quite a record. That's quite a record.
Saki's got his game face on, bro. This means a lot to him. Saki's never beat me. The invite's here, boys.
All right.
Let's go.
Let's go. Easy. Rishi, are you there? Bro, Rishi? Ah, okay.
He's giving you the silent treatment. He's giving you the silent. He's in your head already.
Why do I feel that they've got secret comms here, Callum? They're talking in a different microphone.
I'm starting to feel that as well, but there we go. It'll be okay. It'll be all right.
These FET boys hate drop back, yeah, boys. So all of us back to fan.
Just works for us.
Yeah, no instructions during the game. Everyone can hear us.
Yeah.
Okay, boys.
Fantastic.
Call them off kickoff, bro. Don't give them the kickoff glitch. Take a yellow.
Okay, Aman, I'm sorry that I asked you to change your jersey number. I just saw Sagnik.
I mean, it's fine, bro.
He's taking his time off kickoff, bro. What are these
Bro,
mind
they're
games.
probably doing some settings or something, bro. They need to.
All right.
Yeah.
He's taking it seriously, isn't he? It's only a Pro Clubs game.
Yeah.
Hey, we've got kick-off. Here we go. So, if I'm right in saying, we've got CJ's team is playing from left to right. Is that the Manchester United colour of red?
Try to pass.
Yeah, I think so. Someone needs to confirm from that team right
Oh,
now
what
about
a
this.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
then
no,
we've got
I think
DJ
they are.
Sharm's team playing from right to left in the... Is that the black colour kit, I believe?
Yes, that's correct. Now we can see it. Awesome.
Oh no.
Unlucky. Is she come back for defense? Yeah. Nice.
He's off.
Yeah. Callum, you would never hear them so
Wow.
quiet.
Yeah. It's concentration, isn't it? Well, a bit of an attack going on. It's a bit of a mad scramble in the area. Just about got it away. So on DJ Sharm's team, who's playing the Eddie position?
Oh, they're shaking, boys. They're shaking. Let's
Only if you
go.
had a good cross, bro. Selvin, come on, bro.
Actually, I did not go for a cross. It was a lob, but I got this. Let's go.
My God.
Oh, send that man for a taxi. He's put it over the bar.
Yeah, I'm again free, but
No, bro, I would have not reached it. So that's
But I
good,
want to
that's
see who's playing any on DJ Shaan's team right now.
It's Shaan.
good. Shaan is playing any, bro.
Okay, Shaan is playing any. Perfect.
The best any that we could have asked for.
And in that case, Dhruv is offended because Dhruv has been a fantastic any right now.
After Dhruv, of course.
Selvin, you had to say that, no? Because, yeah, otherwise, connect and roll in jeopardy if you don't say that.
Oh,
we are
man.
going full UNR on them. Let's go.
All you, Shaan. All you. Come on.
Oh.
Oh, almost.
Oi.
If only I got the ball, Selvin.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a smart
What a
pass back. Well defended. It's
That was a
amazing.
really
Both
good
teams are just defending in numbers, aren't they? It's everyone back, everyone forward.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Come running, come running, come running, come running.
Yeah.
All right then.
Let's go.
Vamos.
Let's go, boys.
Oh no, but there's a delay on the stream. We haven't seen it yet.
Uh,
Oh, DJ Shaan's team's taking the lead.
Finally.
Number one in India, who?
I shot it straight at the keeper. But
Oh, what a celebration as well.
That's cool. As long as
Yeah.
it went in. Good run.
Watch for
Good
that
run.
keeper movement, boys. Watch for that keeper movement.
Yeah.
These
Yeah,
boys
yeah.
love it.
CJ on the ropes after just 18 minutes. Who would have thought it?
Nice one.
And,
Great center.
Talking about broken
Good try.
controllers,
Talk about,
after,
bro.
after that
Geometry.
celebration.
I have a spare if anyone needs
Oh,
it.
let's go.
let's go, boys.
Nah. Y'all want to back out and start again, boys?
I'm guessing there's been
I
a
wanted
second.
something toxic.
Oh no, what is
Can't be
happening?
toxic. I can't be toxic. I'm sorry. With my good friends who are playing with us.
He's even apologised for it. That's amazing.
And that too, after scoring a header, I need to apologize for being 5 feet 4 inches and scoring a header.
Wow.
You know what I really love about pro clubs? That you don't so much get this in the 1v1 format. It's the banter.
Good idea.
Yeah. You could never.
I mean, these
Yeah, you
guys are clearly having such a good time. Oh, that's close. That could have went anywhere.
Woodish.
Let's go.
I mean, this is the kind of thing that you should have, in pro clubs. And when pro club gets competitive, from what I've seen, whatever I've played, it just gets very sweaty. Very sweaty.
Oh, too good.
Good one, Nico.
It's a lovely move.
Nice one, Nick. Just to let you know, we are playing for DJ Shaan's team. Yeah, thanks.
Just testing Shaan, bro. How are his nerves? He's got it.
Wow, that was. I mean, the confidence there to try and
Hey,
dribble
I
it.
gave it to. Okay, I was off. I gave it to Aman first time.
Only if you were good, bro.
No, it was off, so I got myself saved from embarrassment.
Let's go.
Oh, back.
Unlucky. Good try.
There's a good tackle at the back there. Lovely.
Callum, you're taking serious interest in this now because you love to play pro clubs
Not
yourself.
scoring, not tonight.
He's just taunting him at this point. Look at that. I mean, his body's on the line. Defending at the back now. This is a great game so far. I'm loving it.
Oh, nice.
I mean,
Ball, Shaan. Why you pass it, you greedy shit?
I was going to pass it.
One more. Yeah.
You got that, Shaan. You got that. Anything
Oh, no. He's missed him there. I see what you mean, guys. It's funny because we're sort of 5-10 seconds behind the guys reacting here. We're seeing it late.
Oh. Good goal, good goal.
Good goal.
Oh, wow.
Some mad skills. CJ's dragging his team up by himself. He's like, we shall not lose today.
That was
If only you passed, Aman, bro. We wouldn't concede this.
No, that is Cheddar.
Oh, that's Cheddar. I thought it was CJ. My bad.
What a goal that is.
So I legit gave you the assist.
Oh, we need Shaan's hat-trick, bro. We all discussed about it.
Yeah.
We, after all, taught him all the top 6
You'll need to pass the ball to him for that. Not do fake shots inside the box.
You'll get the ball.
Oh, just over the bar. Wow.
Oh, what was that tackle by Dhruv, man? Clutch.
Wow.
So as we come into the end of the first half here.
Oh no!
DJ Shaan has taken a shock lead at 2-1.
Yeah, and wait, Sagnik is the captain. Are you serious? Sagnik is the captain there?
Oh, that heel to heel. Oh, that was a bit naughty, wasn't it?
I'm not even going to say good goal to Sagnik, bro.
He's stirring the pot for you boys.
Yeah.
What a goal that is. Wow. Fantastic.
So just as I say, we're going into half time at 2-1 up to DJ Shaan. 2-all. What do I know?
Yeah. What's the longs?
Oh no.
Bro.
Nick, I think it's time.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, the comeback is complete.
Look at me. I was raising my hands, apologizing.
I'll go full
All right, Saki. I see it. I see how it is. Fine.
Wow. That's a crazy comeback in the first half itself.
It just doesn't work like that. Come on, bro. You know better than that.
I don't think we'll get a counter-attacking chance.
Oh.
Okay. Not a bad half. We need to score more.
I mean,
from two goals,
we would have been
three
fine if
goals
Aman
down.
wouldn't have done that fake shot when we were 2
Yeah.
3-2 down.
To be very honest, I feel like I feel like they know what our weakness is, the left wing, and they're trying to exploit it.
What we really need here, guys, half time, we need like an inspirational team talk to get the other guys going, don't you?
After assisting and scoring.
And can we try and get Shaan the ball, like at striker? Because I don't think he's had a touch yet.
Sack Shaan in the chat, too easy. The mind games have begun, boys.
Saki can say whatever he wants.
Yes.
We got this, boys. Come on. This is where mentality kicks in, yeah? Come on.
We're gonna play it from the left wing this time.
Right.
Am I going to get ignored for the whole game now?
Maybe.
Oh no, is this prime Barcelona?
Maybe. Let's go, Shaan. Good day.
Go, Shaan. What an inning.
Aja. Bro, you and your fake shots, I swear to God, bro.
I've never seen so many fake throws in a row, and every time it sold me.
Before the game, he told us that he's added 5-star skills just to do fake shots.
I mean, that is commitment to the fake throw, isn't it? Wasting all those pro
Through
club
ball, through
points.
ball, through ball.
Let's go.
Let's
Can't
go.
cope. They can't cope. Just let this guy just shoot. Just don't press the X button after you shoot. I beg. And we'll be fine.
It's a lovely goal.
Yes,
We're
please.
a couple of seconds behind. What a ball across
Then
that
press
was.
the X button when your teammate is free, please. Yeah.
Is that how you guys dance when you go out by the chance? Is that celebration?
Long ball, long ball. Look at them. Look at them. Oh, sweats.
Callum, do you agree these celebrations are a bit triggering in pro clubs as well?
Oh, they certainly are. It's just it's like watching weekend league.